Lord, in the season of giving, the season of Thanksgiving, we just thank you. And we ask that you be with our meeting, bless us, bless our community. For pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay, so declaration of any conflicts by board members? Any conflicts? Nani online. Okay. Next one is city emergency and first responders report. So we got Honolulu Fire Department.
Good, good. Okay. Okay. So the statistics we have is for the previous month. For more details on the incidents, you can also see our the HFD website at fire.honolulu.gov under the news and info tab if you need more information. Also, if you have any questions that I can't answer here, you can also direct them to hfdnhb@honolulu.gov, and they will respond to those answers. So there was no information previously requested from the last neighborhood board. So I'll just read off the statistics. So for fires, there were 2 structure fires, 3 wildland brush fires, 11 nuisance fires, which covers auto fires and fires outside of structures, like rubbish fires. 0 cooking fires, and 1 activated alarm with no fire. For other emergencies, for medical, we had 160 medical emergencies, 0 motor vehicle collisions with pedestrians, 4 motor vehicle crash collisions, 1 mountain rescue, 0 ocean rescues, and 2 hazardous material incidents. The fire safety tip for this month deals with Christmas trees. So keep your family and friends safe this holiday season by minimizing the hazards and fire risks. Christmas trees, like dried Christmas trees, wreaths, or other natural decorations, are extremely flammable. Remove them from your home as soon as possible, and consider recycling your tree at a participating green waste center in your area. Also deals with, for this coming up New Year's fireworks, leave the fireworks to trained pyrotechnic professionals and enjoy the public fireworks displays. On Oahu, firecrackers, though, are legal and require a permit to purchase and use them. You can go to firesafehonolulu.com and follow those links to actually purchase those permits. That's it for the statistics. Any questions you guys have?
Any community questions in person? Nope. Anybody online? Board, anybody has any questions? Nope.
Yes,
Thank you.
Chief, here. Sorry, I can't find my hand. No question. I just wanted to mahalo HFD for heeding to my call. I was one of the structures that got burnt, and so I appreciate you guys' immediate attention and help to the matter. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
So now we got Honolulu Police Department. Sergeant Fumi, go ahead.
Hi, is Corporal McKeon. Online, yeah, we also have Sergeant Fumi Moroka and Lieutenant Marina Carell. Statistics for the month of November. Motor vehicle thefts, we had 31 in the district, 4 in the Wai'anae area. Burglaries was 13 in the district and 3 in Wai'anae. Thefts for the district was 91. Wai'anae area was 27. Unauthorized entry to motor vehicle, we had 28 in the district and 4 in the Wai'anae area. Traffic violations, we had speeding citations in the Wai'anae area was 49. Moving violations was 879. Parking violations was 36. And total citations issued in the Wai'anae area was 1,500. Total calls for service for our district was 8,049. And total calls for the Wai'anae area was 2,313. And any questions, comments?
Any questions for in person? Come to the mic, state your name. Come to the mic.
Aloha, Ocean Ka'uili. I just have a question for HPD, and it was more about the parameters on HPD's role in the obstruction of the sidewalks for pedestrians walking down the sidewalk. When people park, sometimes they park in front of their garages and whatnot, so sometimes it blocks the egress on the sidewalks. The only reason I'm asking this is because on Lehoku Road, going up to the school, there's a lot of pedestrians and kids walking to and from school in the afternoon, in the morning. So a lot of times they gotta walk on the road or sometimes around parked cars on the road because the sidewalk is blocked. Does HPD have any plan moving forward to address that issue? Mahalo.
As far as our parked vehicles on the sidewalk, the vehicles, yeah, they're not supposed to be obstructing the sidewalk. So if you guys do see it, you guys can just call it in, and then we can have an officer address it with the homeowner.
Any more in-person questions for HPD? Online? More? Any board member get question? Nope. Okay, thank you. HPD, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Oh. Okay, military official report. Oh, sorry. Ocean Safety, Honolulu Ocean Safety Department.
Thank you, board, for having us again. Happy holidays. I'll give you guys a quick rundown of what we had this month of November. We just had a large swell that came November 30th. We had outstanding, a lot of rescues. Wai'anae Small Boat Harbor, we had an altercation on the road that we responded to. Macaw Beach, we had some patrons harassing a monk seal. Tower 50, we had multiple monk seal spottings. Macaw, we had a vessel anchored offshore in the high surf. We had to get that vessel moved from the high surf. It was a commercial dolphin boat. Macaw surf side, we had 4 people that need to be rescued on a kayak. And Lailai Beach Park, 2 swimmers in distress one time and 2 kayakers in distress that we rescued. If it's okay with the board, I'd like to introduce Bouvet Bradbury and Blake Copper Rose. They kind of head the rescue department. What we do I want you guys to know what we do with our rescue Cs and our lieutenants out in the field, if that's okay with you guys.
Good evening. My name is Blake Copperose, the lieutenant of Ocean Safety, the Leeward Coast. On any given day, there's 3 lieutenants that work the Leeward Coast. The Leeward Coast consists of Kaena Point to Iroquois Point. We respond to any beach-related, ocean-related emergencies, and whether it's a 911 call or one of our beaches that need to be serviced. We also have the assistance with our jet ski department. I'll leave that to Water Safety Officer Bradbury.
Good evening, board. My name is Bouvet Bradbury. Proudly serve the Wai'anae Coast as a rescue craft operator or jet ski operator. So every day when we get to work, our main goal, save lives, protect lives. We get to work, and that's our mission every day. We cover from Kaena Point to Iroquois Point. There's 2 units within Wai'anae. One covers Kaena to Maili, and the other one from Maili to Pearl Harbor. There's 2 guys on each unit. We responsible for all ocean and beach-related emergencies from shoreline to a mile out, which includes swimmers, surfers, kayakers, divers, boaters, and you name it, we respond to all of them. We do a lot of preventions. We go up and down the coast, talk to people, make sure they're in the right spot and doing the right things and being safe. And that's on a daily basis every day. With the high surf, we are really busy but we love what we do and we're here for the community. Thank you for letting me speak tonight.
Thank you. Any questions from the community in person? Come to the mic, please. State your name.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is James Cowles. The question I have is, do you have any update or about 2 weeks ago, we had a canoe that got flipped over and got swamped and had a lot of kupuna that were in the canoe. They went out paddling. They got swamped by a big wave. I don't know if you have a report on that or not.
There were 6 kupuna. That was this past Sunday. They hit the shore break at Pokai Bay Beach Park during the high surf. 2 of them got taken to seek higher medical attention at Queens West. The other 4 declined treatment, which brings us to this winter. Like every winter, we know there's high surf. It's something we've dealt with our whole lives living here on the Leeward Coast. And we kind of get overshadowed by the North Shore, but we do have just as high surf, just as hazardous conditions, and just as bad beach erosion. Some of us don't realize that we do have long-term residents that live on the coastline. They live in tents, they live in homes, they live in all kinds of different situations, and we've dealt with them to where their property and themselves have been swept out on big surf. Like I said, this winter, like every winter, be prepared for higher surf. And this is the beginning of our winter season. Another thing that Ocean Safety is looking into implementing with our I guess you would say, our opioid addiction problem we have. A lot of first responders now have Narcan, and as of January, we will have our Narcan supplement in each tower. We will be able to administer to those in need of an overdose. Any questions?
You gotta make it quick because you're supposed to have one
I
question.
just like add one thing. This unit, folks right here are the ones that rescued the ones at the canoe. I want to give you an update. One of them is in Queens Hospital. The other one is at Kaiser Hospital. She has a broken collarbone, broken hip, a couple of broken ribs, and she's 84 years old, remind me. And if I'm not mistaken, dislocated hip, but she should be coming home tomorrow. But she'll be in rehab for quite a while. But I want to thank you guys for helping them out there in the ocean. I really appreciate it. You guys do an awesome job.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
Real quick to reiterate, Brother Blake, my lieutenant, we do a lot of preventions. We're out there and stopping people from getting into trouble. So we prevent more than we rescue, and we like it that way. Rescues can be life-threatening and really dangerous for all parties involved. And yeah, we do a lot of preventions, and that's kind of our focus. Thank you.
Any more in person? Okay, Kauko'ohu, go ahead.
Let me unmute. Aloha guys, hey Lieutenant, what's up, Bube? I just wanted to share. I just wanted to give a big nunui ke aloha to Ocean Safety, you know, for the tireless works that they've been doing for all these years. And but my question, like how Lieutenant Blake was saying about that, you know, North Shore usually get more traffic, but we get choke traffic over here, you know, with beachgoers and whatnot. My question was, like for the tourists, like when the tourists come down, especially in the winter time, and we get high surf, like are they compliant? Like, you know, when you guys go out and let them know, hey, it's not the place you should be. I just was wondering, what was the census um, on the responses from tourists? Because the locals, they usually know not for, where not for going and whatnot. So that was just my question.
A lot of the tourists, they are very obedient and understand. We have the benefit that North Shore doesn't. We have Pokai Bay that we send a lot of the inexperienced beachgoers who want to experience things like the surf and a nice sunset that our Leeward Coast provides. And another thing is, as the Ko'olina community grows, we are flooded with more tourists, but we are able to uphold and do the preventatives needed to try and assist them with getting a safe beach, having a good time while they visit our beaches on the Leeward Coast.
Mahalo. Appreciate you guys. Aloha.
Okay, any other questions in person? None? Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you. So now we're on to military official report. We don't have no one online and in person. So we'll go to BWS, Board of Water Supply.
Not sure where Kauai is tonight, but I will step in. Kathleen Pahinui for the Board of Water Supply. Just have a couple of things to report. Board Member Peterson reached out to us a couple weeks ago and said that our guys were filling up from the hydrant near for one of our reservoirs, I believe, Board Member Peterson. And the guys had told her that somebody broke the pipes up there. So I did check with our team, and we've capped the pipes on the inside of the fence so nobody can access them. And we do have a camera up there. So thank you, Board Member Peterson, for bringing that to our attention. And then at last month's board meeting, someone brought up a concern about the rinse stations and broken shower heads. And I didn't say which park, but we did let DPR know, and they are going to take care of it. So if anybody sees anything in any of the parks with the shower heads or water fountains, please let us know, and we'll work with DPR to get that corrected. Thank you very much. And that's all I have to report.
Anyone in person has questions for BWS?
I have a question on my water bill because I have an acre property in Macau, and there has been almost no rain. We've had a few rains, but nothing enough to keep anything alive. And I live on a little homestead, I try to grow my fruit trees and things. And I'm getting outrageous bills, and they have tier levels of punishment is the way I view it. And I'm pretty high, like it's kind of outrageous. I'm paying $400 plus for keeping my property alive. And no, and I should apply. I should be able to yeah, yes.
Investigate.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come and see you after.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for bringing that up. Really appreciate that.
Anyone else in person? Come to the mic.
Aloha, Kalei Sausero. I don't have a business. I do own a 1 acre property, but I've been charged as business. We've been trying to solve the problem for the longest. It's been, first was 1 year, then we try again, we keep calling and we make sure that after they said, okay, we gotta go do this, we gotta change it. It was over and over, but I was being charged as a business. I'm self-sustainable. I feed my family. I feed other family members and kupunas. I share what I have, because that's the blessings I give. So just to let you know, I understand where he's coming from, but I don't run a business, but I was charged at business rates.
Thanks, Blake.
Oh, I already did the investigation. They're going to correct it.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll make sure they do correct it. I'll follow up for you.
Anyone else in person? Okay.
Aloha, Lokana Keli Ikoapua for Wai'anae Valley Homestead. As far as the water fountain and the pipe If you can double check Kaupuni Park, closest to the pavilion area. If I last remember, it wasn't functional. Kaupuni Neighborhood Park, that's in the Wai'anae Valley Homestead. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else in person before we move forward? Nope. Okay, thank you, BWS. So now we're gonna do presentation. Hunting, archery, BWS report.
Okay, thank you very much. So last month, we talked about the e-bikes and the motorcycles up in Makaha Valley. And at that meeting, I also brought our draft plan for hunting and I left copies. So I hope everyone who was interested got a copy of it. I know Chair can also provide you with a copy if you want. So tonight she asked me to do a quick update on what our plan is. So we're going to go through this fairly quickly. I do want to shout out to Representative Muraoka. He had a talk story a couple weeks ago, and we presented this, and it was a really great meeting. We had about at least 40 or 50 hunters showed up. It was a good meeting. Yeah, it was really, really good. We got some great input. So this plan does not reflect that input, but I will give it a little bit of an update. Next slide, please. So I'm not going to go through all the details, but basically what we're looking at is archery for feral pigs and goats. That's what we're doing. No firearms, no dogs. And the purpose of this is for the protection of the watershed because feral ungulates tear up the ground, they tear out the plants, and we're trying to restore the native forest up there. Next slide, please. We're working with this in conjunction with DLNR, Department of Land and Natural Resources. They would manage the permitting program. You would just have to call in, sign up, get your permit. There's a number of rules you have to follow. Next slide, please. And so this one, because it's privately owned, well, it's government-owned land. It's not privately owned. It's government-owned land. And the question did come up after Rep's talk story. Somebody said they looked it up on the tax key map and it says it's owned by the city and county. That is true. We are also part of the city and county, and by charter, we're allowed to hold land in the name of the city and county of Honolulu. So the Board of Water Supply does own the plan that you will see on the map. Next slide, please. Okay, so you see the big blue U-shaped section. That's what we're talking about. That's the land that the BWS owns and that we're looking for control hunting on. Next slide, please. And the access would be through Amauka Gate at the end of Keeley Drive and Huipu Street in front of Makaha Towers. There was some issues came up regarding parking and how we would manage that, some really good input. So we have to take a further look at that for allowing parking, safe parking, of course, as well. Next slide. And again, this would be through another way through the Makua Keau public hunting area. Next slide. And then we also have the Wai'anae Kai Forest Reserve. Next slide. So basically, again, as I stated, it's just going to be archery only, no dogs, no knives. Really good news after the meeting. We had, again, some really good side conversations afterwards with some folks, including the gentleman who's the head of the, I believe it's the Wai'anae Pig Hunters Association. And so another gentleman, I believe, works with him, Kamaka Cardenas, contacted us. And they do a hunting archery program for the children, for the kids out here. And so we're going to be meeting with him after the first of the year, and hopefully we can get something started by bringing the kids out. It's a great activity for the kids. It helps us, and it's kind of it's a good thing for the community. It gives the kids an activity to do. So we're going to start with him. Some other good ideas came up about maybe alternating, allowing dogs and knives, maybe alternate and things like that. But those are all details we still need to work out. But we are going to start, actively doing that after the first year. But the first thing we are going to look at is working with the kids and bringing them out to do some archery hunting out there. And we had a really great ideas. Like another one was to put up a salt lick to get the goats to come down. And then that way it's easier. You don't have to go as far up into the mountains and stuff. So some really good ideas came up at that meeting. Next slide. And then again, about the parking, we'll have a designated parking area. We're not going to allow e-bikes, motorbikes, or ATVs. So basically, you could walk in and then you walk out. Next slide, please. And that's pretty much the presentation. Again, I want to thank Representative. I can't express what a great meeting that was. It was very positive, a lot of good questions, a lot of really good input from the hunters that we're going to be following up on. Representative, was there anything else you wanted to add or from that meeting? It was really, really good, very good meeting. So any questions?
Any questions from in person? Come.
Aloha, Kalaisao said, not really a question, it's more of a suggestion. If you folks going to open it at the Bowen shooting, I would highly suggest that you have pre-registration. Make sure that's ethical hunters, not unethical hunters. So that would be something that you guys need to do. Pre-qualification. I'm pretty sure you guys can have one stand. Yeah. Well, good luck with Yellow North.
Thank you.
Come to the mic.
Aloha Borders, blessings. I just have a question with the pilot program. With that pilot program is the rules and laws and regulations. After the pilot program is done, the rules and regulations is gonna stick and apply? Is that my question?
We would take back the information that we learned from that pilot, and then we'll make adjustments as necessary, and then come back and with the revised plan and rules to share with you guys. Yeah.
And all that is gonna apply for the position, right? After the pilot program.
You gotta come to the mic so that people online can hear. And don't
So-
forget, address the chair, not a side convo.
So after the pilot program is done, with my understanding, with the community, understanding is the laws and rules and regulations concluded with this pilot program will apply furthermore afterwards. So I'd like to have the community and the board notice and take a note of that.
Thank you.
Come to the mic.
Peter Mulder from Makaha. Yeah, I'm aware there's mountain bikers and stuff going Makaha Valley, but I think we got to pump the brakes because this government land is people's land, no? And we need a place to ride. We don't have a place to ride. Kahuku is not. It's not doable. It's like a 4-hour journey if you're lucky, just to drive. And that doesn't include going up the dirt road, which is critical if it's raining. So it's dangerous. And we have a lack of riding areas, legal riding areas. And I think the hunting and things is great program. That's awesome for the youngsters. But we need, a lot of youngsters are involved in this hard enduro, this electric bike, dirt bike action. And it has a lot of history in Hawaii. And we need to mentor that. We need to have some programs for that. Like, I mean, community got to come around that, because I'm telling you, you're going to shut down that, you're going to have a lot more wheelie guys on the road. And we don't want to go after that. We want to pump the brakes on all that. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, yeah, let's go after them, but those are our kids, and it's all about money now. Like, you know, it's.
Can you
we need
state
to
your
be-
question
we
so
need to
that
be
we can move
safe.
forward?
My question is, we need to make a program for like people that, you know, like, because kind of making like dirt bikers and all that are outsiders. We're criminals. So the question is, how are we going to get our kids, which are like some of the world's best riders, you know? We get some of the best riders over here. It's incredible training grounds.
Okay, let her answer your question.
We get a program together.
Let her answer
Let's
your
get a
question.
program.
Sir, I think, I know your representative and I believe your senator have some ideas that they're working on. So I do know they take this very seriously and they are working on it. So I would recommend that you talk to them. I know I live North Shore, and you're right. We got some of the best dirt bike riders in the world. So thank you for that.
Can we not have a conversation like this? Sorry, this cannot happen. Nani, go ahead online, please.
Mahalo, this is Nani. Kathleen, I just wanted to first mahalo you for the previous update that you gave us, your attention to it, immediate attention to it, getting those cameras up there. I hope that will deter the situation a lot. I wanted to know how often are you guys going to be checking on those cameras, if they're well working. And then as far as your presentation, I like your presentation. I like that Kamaka is a part of your program, working on to be a part of your program. He's a great cultural practitioner. Culture. There's not pono happenings in the hunting scene. There's been too many dead pua'a in our ravines, in our stream areas, and I'm hoping the conversation was had in that meeting in regards to better taking care of our pua'a, our animals. Yeah, they feed us, so we need to make sure that we take care of them, not throw them in our rivers. And so just wanted to know if there was any conversation in regards to that and asking for implementation of more culture into the hunting scene, so that they know why it's important to do that. Mahalo.
Absolutely. First, going to the cameras are checked regularly through our security. So we have eyes on them constantly. So thank you for that. And when something does go down, we take care of it immediately. But thank you for bringing up the cultural aspect of hunting. We will make sure that that is part of what we're doing. And the second thing on taking the animals out, yes, we're very serious about if you hunt the animals, they do need to come out. The carcasses should not be just tossed into the river elsewhere. You're absolutely correct. Thank you.
Got a question? Come to the mic.
I'm a visitor, and with all due respect, and I've been hiking. I'm one of the hikers, bikers, hikers, hunters. What is the ultimate goal of this meeting? Is it to protect? Is it really to protect the ecology, the watershed, the foliage, the endangered foliage and fauna flora and fauna that's up there? Or is it, I'm not sure, I'm confused about, you're talking about hunters and the control mechanism that's required for them to do their job of clearing out the ungulates that are destroying the land. Okay, so for erosion, but my observation for the last few years is that the biggest impact on the quality of the land and the potential for damage to the water system, the native plants, is the motorcycles, the unrestricted number of motorcycles that are going up there. And I understand, I'm a motorcycle rider. I love it. There's a place and a time for it. I'm not sure that Makaha is ready for the number of motorcycles that are going up there. I'm not sure if you've seen the photographs, the aerial. I was up there today. I took video. They're creating a motorcycle playground up there. They seriously are. If you were to take the time to look at some photos, and if that's your choice, I'm a visitor, and I'm not trying to, cause anger or problems. But if your goal is to protect that valley for the ecology and the water, seriously, the motorcycles that are the damage that's being done with the clear cutting, they're taking chainsaws, they're opening up places that should not be opened up because it's not going to handle the high water monsoon years that come. It's going to wash out. And it's not because of the pig hunters, and it's not because of the hunters. Find a place for these men to, and I agree with this gentleman over here, there needs to be an outlet on this side of the island for this energy to be expended and the talent to be displayed and enjoyed. But I don't believe that it's what I'm seeing up the valley. It breaks my heart. I've been hiking up there since I was 18.
Can you state your
1975.
name, sir? 2
Right.
minutes is up. So can you state your name for the record?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Okay. Craig?
Okay, thank you. Kathleen, can you answer his question if you able to?
Well, no, we agree with you. We have just a great number of pictures of the damage. Joe Jordan knows that. We lease land to Mohala Ikabai. It's growing food up there. So we're extremely aware of the issues. But to this gentleman as well, we do need to find an outlet for the kids. So we want to be part of the solution, but it's everything you stated, protecting the watershed, protecting native species, and also finding places for our keiki. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna move on to, thank you, Kathleen. We appreciate your time.
I have a question. Do you mind? Here. Is this on?
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Joe has a question.
Thank you, Kathleen, for coming back out again. I know it's a long drive for you. BWS and DLNR had a previous pilot program up in Makaha Valley for hunters that hunted in the back of the valley, knife only and dogs. I know that stopped sometime last year. Are we going to take that data along with this data from this pilot project as we move forward with coming up some kind of rules? And how successful was that, or wasn't it? Secondly, BWS has the 100-acre enclosure in the valley. Is BWS still going to continue with their permitted program for hunters to enter that 100-acre reforesting for a natural forest again to remove those ungulates that unexpectedly get within your 100-acre fence?
I believe in the 100-acre fence, we're doing a different way of catching the ungulates, and I don't think we're looking to ask the hunters to go in there. It's going to be outside of that area. The previous program apparently was not very successful for a number of reasons, which I'm not 100% sure why it didn't go. It didn't go. But that's what we heard from DLNR. We partner with DLNR because we don't have the ability. Hi, how are you? We don't have the ability to manage this. We don't have the resources in-house to manage it ourselves, which DLNR does this. They do other programs similar to this, which is why we work with them. We thought we'd try the archery and the reception we got. You know, some hunters still would like us to consider dog and knife, and we may do that at some point, but we need to talk to DLNR. But the reception we got on the archery, especially for the kids, was very positive. So I think we'd like to see how that plays out and what we can do then to provide our keiki with an opportunity to get outside and enjoy the outdoors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, BWS, for your time. Appreciate it. We're going to go back to item 4, the military official report. Go ahead, Army Rep.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Second Lieutenant Fairchild, and I'll be briefing on behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Sean Stroh. For community relations, we received a request from the 25th ID Band to participate in the Wai'anae Coast Community Christmas Parade on 13 December. For everyone's situational awareness, on 8 December, there's a job fair at HMR that includes business opportunities and child youth services. And on 7 December, there's the 84th anniversary for the Pearl Harbor Remembrance from 0730 to 0830. Also on 7 December, from 1600 to 2000 is the Pearl Harbor Remembrance Parade at Fort DeRussie. Any questions that you all have, I can address now and refer to Lieutenant Colonel Stroh, or you can contact us at our concern line at 808-787-1528.
We have someone in person that would like to ask a question. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, thank you for being online. So my question is a repeat question from 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we had a heavy rainstorm in Makua Valley to the tune of 10 to 12 inches. And the two streams that come off of each side of that valley were flowing so heavily that they were going underneath the roadway and into our nearshore waters in Makua. I asked at that point of time, what was the protocol for the U.S. Army after a heavy rainstorm? Do you folks go out and visually look at the areas that go underneath your fence and into our nearshore waters in case there's any shiny objects or unexploded ordnance that may come up during those heavy rains. So I've never got a response to that. I was told you guys didn't have a protocol, so it's now been 3 years. Have you developed a protocol for those procedures after a heavy rainfall?
Okay, this is a very good question. I went ahead and took note of it, and I'll have Lieutenant Colonel Stroh address it next meeting.
Coco Ohu online, go ahead.
Yeah, aloha. This is also a repeat question. For the flight airspaces that the military fly over. I live up where Wai'anae Valley, Homestead, and years helos flying over, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So, to my understanding, there's no air traveling over residential areas, but apparently the military has been doing that. So I've also asked that question a couple years back as well. So you can get an answer for that, please.
Yes, I can do that. I also know that during, this is for future reference, December 6th, 9th, 11th, and 12th, East Range will be doing aviation training and air assault from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. So I can obviously note it, but it would be my assumption that that's something similar that it was occurring. But I'll write it down and get an answer for you.
Thank you.
Anybody in person has questions for the military? Go ahead, come to the mic. Can I take a chair privilege? If you guys gonna have side conversations, can you guys go outside? Because it can be picked up over here. It's distracting, please. Thank you.
Aloha, blessings again. My question is, there's 3 lights swabs that are in Miley in the Howard Tower. Can the military fix it, please? If you guys are going to practice you guys air flight things before an accident comes and crashes on our community on this side.
Thank you. I'll take note of it.
Anyone else in person? Thank you, Army. Appreciate your time. Next, we're going to have Ka'ala Farms doing presentation. Uncle Eric Enos. Yeah. Oh, no. That was just, she was sharing that. That was culinary, you're sharing that. I'll continue to introduce yourself and wait while we look for your slideshow.
Okay, well, hello, my name is Eric Enos. I'm the director of Ka'ala Farm. We're here to follow up with our 97-acre site at up in a mountain. We've been at the site since the early 70s and restoring the lo'i, bringing back the water in 1978 and establishing water rights. So we've always had, prior to that, we were under model cities. And then Hawaiian Homelands, it got converted when Ho'aleku Drake, all the lands that came back, and they put it under the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. And so we've had a license agreement since then. So we finally had a chance to go for a lease. And so this is a little slideshow that was done for us. And we're in a process. We just submitted a EA, and you'll have some copies there. And this is, so maybe we can just do the slideshow and talk about that. Yeah. So it's the Cultural Link Center at Ka'ala. Go ahead. Yeah. And so this is, what we are, and basically, so a program working with youth. And we used to work with men and women in substance abuse, but that got stopped 3 years ago. So that's really a problem. We want to bring the men and women back. We had a Ho Maukeola way back when for 25 years, they would come up there every week, but that got stopped. So we gotta bring them back. So anyway, moving forward. Yeah, so this is who we are. Go ahead. Yeah. And so a little bit about our beginnings and our mission. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'm just gonna run it through, and a lot of different programs we do. We do monthly work days for, and then we do Puaka'iulu, a summer program for high school, and Puaka'iulu is works with youth, and we take on real life projects like the fire. We do energy. We do policies. We do things like houselessness. We take on issues of energy. So these kids really have a chance to really get involved in real life situations. Yeah. The DOE alternative learning, we have a lot of schools come up, and we have schools that come up from the entire coast. Yeah. Go ahead. Another the programs. Hola Kako, and these are the emergent experiences. And so, and then there's also customized groups that do want to come up. We have groups from all over the world, actually, and we've been not only locally, nationally, and so forth, but yes, but that's who we are. Go ahead. So what we are today, and that's our learning center, Lo'ikalo, the dry land. We've been also doing a lot of stuff with fire and flooding and green fire breaks, because as you know, this is the hottest ignition point in the entire state. In fact, the nation. The reason is because Wai'anae Valley Road has that 1,100 acre lease that just got turned over to us a few years ago for gross mismanagement. So now we have that lease with Ho'omaukeola, but this is where all the fires started. So all of historical fires have started there, and once they sweep through, they'll burn the entire valley. The 2018 fire burned the entire valley, burned the entire ag park, and it was lucky it didn't jump into the whole homes below. So we could have had a Lahaina situation. So we up there right now creating fire breaks, and so it's a long project. We're working with NOAA, we're working with Hawaii Wildfire, and we're working with we had an EPA grant to do this, but it got cut under Doja. So that was really poho. So anyway, go ahead. This is the vision. So that's our learning center up there. We have 97 acres, but only about, I would say about 30 acres of it is agrable. The rest of it is cliff and pali. Yeah, go ahead. So these are the intent of our project is to just be able to continue the work that we're doing. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, the agriculture expansion. These lo'i are very difficult to work with. The best taro lands are the lowlands. This is why you see Waipio and Hanale, deep soil, but we don't have enough water, so the lo'i are up suspended in these agriculture terraces. Very difficult to work with and very rocky. In fact, actually, it's some of the worst soil. But the reason for that is because of the proximity of the river. Because Wai'anae's water never really reached the ocean. There was a little river of it and springs, but we don't have enough water. So it's very difficult land to work, and very little level ground. So it's like hanging terraces. Yeah, go ahead. So these are facilities that we're gonna have to develop in infrastructures. Yeah, go ahead. And then the impacts and mitigation is what happens that the city, and the state wants to take a look at. Go ahead. And these are potential impacts, the proposed mitigation, and it's relatively straightforward. There really isn't that much, in terms of invasive species, but we have a native Hawaiian dry forest, and we're trying to do ungulate control because the wild pigs are really a huge problem. And then there's wild people. That's one of the biggest problems too. We have a lot of gangs who are using the bottom part of our property for, this is where they steal all the cars, and that's a big problem. And then after they steal a car, they go and light it on the side of the valley road, and that's to get rid of evidence, and then that causes the fire. So they're sitting up there right now. It's a chop shop, yeah, basically. And there's a lot of chop shops in the Wai'anae Coast, people that takes cars steal them and then sell parts. Yeah, so that's a thriving economy. Go ahead. Water potential impacts. We in 1978 we did a CDUA conservation district use application, and the whole plantation diversion. As you know, sugar diverted all the water. So now we're working with the Board of Water Supply, and then we are working on recharge issues. And because, as you know, we're in a severe drought, climate change is getting drier and hotter. And so we have a lot of different strategies to do this. And one of the areas is to use, when it does rain, two things happen. You have flooding and drought. And when the floods come down, and so we're working on a system to create check dams so that the flood water is captured in little mini dams within the wadi. These are dry riverbeds. So think of the beavers and like beavers of the desert, small little systems that you can. So when water does come down, we try to stop the flow, direct, and have little side areas. And there's a lot of work in that, and desertification, because deserts, and then how to reclaim the desert and bring it back into greenness. And the plants we are planting is plants for food, medicine, fiber, adornment, shelter, energy, and spiritual connection. So those are all the plants that are going. We're going to green the back of the valley and using water strategically. Go ahead. And that's the fire. That's the 2012 fire. That's when the Lulule fire, that's the fire that started in Lulule, jumped over, burned the entire back of the valley. And when you burn the watershed, you destroy the ability of the land to recharge water. So all your water that you're drinking, half of our water, even less than half of our water, comes from Wai'anae. The rest of it is brought in from from the Waipahu side. So we are not self-sufficient. So once you lose the capacity of the land to recharge groundwater, and this is why native plants are really, really critical, because native plants store water and it doesn't run off. And when it runs off, it creates erosion. It brings the mud down. It goes down into the ocean, and then it covers the coral. And this is why you have the loss of your coastal system, the limo ground. So it's all connected to on top. So you got to take care of top to take care of bottom. And that's why all these issues we talk about is conservation. So it's a big problem because people are the problem. Yeah. Go ahead. Traffic and parking. Yeah, I mean, this is what we've been working with. So that's an issue. We have school buses come up, and that's our parking area. That area is actually owned by us, Trust for Public Land. We bought it. It's about 7 acres, and this is where we park. And this is where you have the dry land, native Hawaiian dry forest. Yep, go ahead. Permits approval, state, city, DHHL. So we're going through the process of meeting all those issues. DPP has the Department of Health and all those issues that we are working through. Go ahead. And mahalo. And you're most welcome to come up and see what we're doing. And we also work with Mohala Kawai. We're a partner. In fact, Kala help work with Start Mohala. So, and there's also, so we're doing a lot of work. We just did a lot of work in Nanakuli Valley before. So all the valleys, and of course, going to do a shout out. We got to bring back Lualua Valley because it has all the infrastructures. It has the water. The roads are inside there, and so we need to start taking a look at. When we talk about houselessness, we need to start looking at some of the best. And Lulule Valley has some of the best soil in the whole Wai'anae Moku, deep soil. So this is something we really got to focus on because that has the potential to feed Wai'anae and to feed Oahu. That's it.
Do we have any questions? Awesome presentation, Uncle. Do we have any questions from in person? Come to the mic. No? Thank you
Okay.
for your time. Appreciate it.
Just want to do a shout out to Don Chang. So she's been a warrior way back when she was with the Liliuokalani Trust, and then she was ag, the AG, yeah, with the SHIPD, and now she's the head. Very tough job. It's a job that everybody throws a lot of spears. Yeah. Everybody has everybody can tell you what's wrong, but very few people can have solutions. We got to work on solutions. Mahalo.
Thank you for your time. Great presentation, Uncle. Okay, next we have DLNR Homeless Coordinator, Pua Ayu. Okay. No problem. Us two guys can come up together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Hello, everybody. My name is Colin Paishan. I go by Kala. I'm one of the 6 leaders at Pono Wai'anae. We're here to clarify things and make things clear because social media has a way of twisting things. I love the relationship we have. You know, I'm all for relationships with anyone. Our village is open to anyone, even with the Kupuna councils and some of the church members and some of the other entities that come and give a hand. You know, during Thanksgiving week of actually November 18th, we had an agreement. We had a meeting with DOE, DAR, DOBAR, DOCARE, Dilinar, and Jun Yang from the governors. So I had to find a solution to smooth over everything. That way everybody's pono. You know, it's all about building relationships. And the best I got was because they wanted to bring in the machines and we couldn't, because liability, it would cost us Monday through Friday from 7:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Every day you got to vacate the property. And I didn't want to do that to the people there because of the fact that it would cause a lot of trauma. Already we're going through trauma. But we're not looking for a handout. You know what I mean? Always a handout. So I had to think of a solution that would work for both sides. So the best solution I got was stop the machines from coming in, and we'll take our own kuleana. You know what I mean? And 8 days, our agreement was until Thanksgiving Day. After that, the next day they showed up, and that's how our agreement came to be. It was hard work. A lot of entities came out and laid a hand. A lot of families came out, and I'm blessed. I am blessed, and I cannot thank you guys more than gratitude itself. All you guys, I see you guys' faces here. I saw you at the cleanup. Thank you. You know, I had Pastor Calvin, his daughter, Pastor Abby. You know what I mean? They fed the people too. They brought waters. Hey, thank you. Much mahalo. Even the machines that came in helped haul them into the trash bins to make room. Hey, mahalo plenty. Even other entities that came out, like Kealoho, you know, Kupuna Council, you know, any aspect of life that came out, they came out with an open heart and a clear mind. They never judged. They never looked at us. They looked at us as people. And I always told everybody that in order to address things in the community, it takes a community to make the community complete, not other people. It's a community thing. And I love the hearts that came that day, you know. And when we succeeded after the day on the 29th, me, Paul, and Anthony from DART walked around and we came to an agreement, and I'm all for it. The 6 months was granted to us. You know, all we wanted was grace, you know, because our construction, hey, things happen. Things happen over time. I can't speak on it because I am for the village. I'm one of the leaders. But I was glad that we had the relationship with Don Chang and Puayu, you know, and other ones that was there from DoCare, DoBar, Dar, you know, and Yang. You know, I would love to build more relationships with the community that's here, even our neighborhood board, even our representatives that represent the West, 96792, from Nanakuli to Macau. You know, we won family. And me, that day, you know, I told myself on Sunday because, you know, I never realized how much of an impact people are to you, no matter how old you get in life. Everybody gonna need help one day in their life. And I mean, I was grateful for that day, and I'm gonna always be grateful going forward. We're still pushing. We're cleaning out areas, and as right now they're setting the soil in so we can lay it on the fence for the next phase that's up. Already first phase, we got about 40 something people up there. We're moving another about 23 in. And then we're waiting for the third, fourth phase to go up so we can move more people in. But as they're moving in, we're already cleaning out their camps because, like I said, we brought our Pala there. It's our kuleana. to take it out, not nobody else's. You know, by like I said, I give much gratitude. There's nothing I can express on. Thank you guys for helping us. You know, Dream, Don Chang, Sheeta Bomb. Sheeta Bomb. Ever since my auntie Twinkle and Close Her Eyes, it's been about almost 16 months. Our village never get to grieve because we was faced with stipulations along the way. But the lady would always tell us, no matter what, dust yourself off and keep pushing. Don't stop. Keep going. She would set the foundation for our village. What houseless encampment out there can actually say we got funding from private donors and be able to purchase our own land? No houseless encampment. She was the solution and still is. Just got to be a little tweak. We're not there to stop or change. We're just there to add to it. You know, like I was nervous coming up here because when Don then told me, okay, I'll let you take the lead because it's your guys' story to tell. I was like, oh, okay. It's my first time ever being on this mic speaking at the neighborhood board, you know. And with the family from my village that's here for support. Hey, much mahalo. Thank you guys. Love every one of you guys. You know, our village, we do things we do for the children of our village. Our village was built on the children. And if we cannot do them now, when they get older, who gonna do it for them then? I told my kids, I'm not granted forever. But while I'm here, I'm gonna do what I gotta do for you guys to set it in motion for you guys so you guys can keep pushing forward. But if your heart is wherever you wanna be, hey, all you know. But like I gonna say, everybody, when you guys come to our village, come with an open heart, open mind. We welcome anybody. We don't deny nobody. We love the help. We love the conversation. You guys like come down, sit down, talk stars. Hey, by all means, always welcome. You know. And I love to have a collaboration with the Kupuna Council, you know, because we're working on things, the plans for the Kupunas that we're moving up there in the second phase, you know, so that we keep them active instead of staying stagnant, you know. Because all our lives, all these people out here on the streets, they were let down so much that they accepted life for what it was. See, one thing about Twinkle mamas, we all call her mamas. One thing about mamas, she always looked the good when everybody only saw the bad in someone. It's not about second chances, third, fourth, fifth chances. There's always good in someone. It's you got to figure that out and find out. That's why relationships count. No matter where you go on the side of the island, even to the States, hey, it don't matter. Relationships go a long way. But, you know, right now we're working hand in hand with Don Chang and Puayu. And I want to commend them, you know, for giving us grace and stuff. Yeah, sorry. I took all the time. Sorry, Portuguese guys.
He was very passionate. So, hello, Mike Kako. I know I'm not going to take up too much time. My name is Don Chang. I am Chair of the Board of Land and Natural Resources. So, thank you very much for the invitation to come before you tonight and do a brief presentation. Kala, I appreciated him and willingness to take the lead. I just want to provide a little bit of context. So, I want to make sure everybody in this room has the same information that we have. So, and I know this community has been very patient with all of us. We have been trying very hard to transition with POW, their residents to go up Malcolm. Because the intention is that land, it's currently under our Department of Aquatic Resources. There are some very special ancholine ponds over there that are still existing. So our intention is to work with DOE on transferring that land or enter into some kind of an agreement so that they can expand the marine science program. But many of you are probably wondering, so how come we didn't, you know, why is DLNR giving these guys chance? So I wanted to read something to you. This is as I was driving over. So why did DLNR agree to POW's request? Because initially we were going to come in, we had told them by Thanksgiving, everybody needs to move up Maka. And I think many people in this community had sort of expected that, or you had heard that. But we met, as Kala said, we met, and we were planning to come in after Thanksgiving and work with them, but transition them all up, and Deal and I would bring their crew of people to come in. But I looked at Kala and I said, so you tell me, what do you want to do? And he said, Mama's always wanted us to take care of that place, to leave it better than we found it, or at least in as good a condition. And he said, that's what I want to do. So I looked at him, I looked at all of my staff, and I said, okay. So this is, so my whole life, as I've known Eric, I was a social worker with Queen Liliuokalani's Children's Center during the 70s, worked for the Attorney General's office. I was a lawyer, consultant, and now I'm the chair. But I've dedicated my life. My mother is a ho'okano from the Ahopua of Kahalu'u. They were Lavaya, and they were also taro farmers. But I've dedicated my life in whatever capacity to empower people and communities to determine their own destiny. Self-determination is when you can make a decision for yourself about your destiny. Whether you are rich or poor, Hawaiian, Japanese, or Caucasian, have a house or don't, we are still part of humanity and deserve to be respected. In my opinion, that's what Kala and POW were asking. That they be respected and given the opportunity to be pono and take leadership in transitioning their residents in a safe and orderly fashion, and more importantly, to ensure that they clean the property. I respect that, and I chose to honor their requests. However, there were other reasons too, because it would be unsafe for us to bring equipment and a major cleanup at the same time people were living there. So it was a safety issue. We had also estimated that it would take us several months to clean up too. So when they asked for 6 months, but it will be a phased approach. So the next slide shows you this is the phased approach that we're going to use. So the ancholine ponds are more along the shoreline, but so their commitment to us was give us a chance. We want to clear phase 4, closest to the high school and the ocean, where many of the ponds are. We said you have to clean, they said we will clean that by Thanksgiving. And they did. Maybe there still might be a little bit of opala over there, but they said they're going to clean that up. So every month they are going to clean a phase. We are going to go in and inspect and make sure that they fulfill their commitment. But this way it gives them, in a transition phase approach, as residents, they move the residents up, they clean up, and then we come back in and we make sure that they've cleaned it how we've all agreed to. But it was a cost issue. It would cost us and taxpayers. But Kala and POW said, we want to do it. So again, we respected their requests, and we're going to hold them to it. Because I also want to be very clear that I don't want our goodwill to be misinterpreted, because if they are not held accountable, and I'm going to be writing his okole for the next 6 months, but I want them to be successful. We all want them to be successful. They are a model to be able to go from where they were houseless to have land where they can actually hopefully grow their own food. That's a model for how we should all, in this community in particular, Wai'anae can be at the forefront. So, but I did tell Kala, you do not keep up to you under the bargain. DLNR is going to come in, and we're going to work with cleaning it, because I need to make sure that property is clean and that we can work with DOE. But I'm trusting and I'm having a lot of faith in him. But I did also want to share what we agreed to. So there were some terms. So we worked out with POW some agreements. And so by Thanksgiving, as I said, phase 4, they were agreed to complete the relocation, remove the debris. So POW every month is going to clean a phase and it will be inspected by DLNR. POW may use machinery, small machinery, but they need to be under the guidance, the DLNR's directives. DLNR is going to provide bins at no cost to POW and will remove. If a section is not fully cleared, DLNR we will work with POW, but we're going to let them know that we're going to step in. So the cleanup is to be fully completed no later than April 2026. And hopefully it will be done before then, but that's what we agreed to. I really want to thank this community for your patience. It has been a while. I mean, they have probably overstayed their welcome, but we also, you know, sometimes they wanted to make sure Mako said. I do want to express my mahalo to Senator DeCourt. She was very helpful in working with stakeholders and trying to get us to this point. So I do want to mahalo her. Rep. Muraoka, thank you so much for all your help too. But Senator DeCourt was very helpful in kind of coordinating with some of the people that could help with some of the heavy equipment. But most importantly, I want to mahalo POW. It is this group that, and Mama's Vision, that motivated all of us to give them respect and dignity and compassion. So on behalf of DLNR, but like I said, you know, we will continue to work. It's his relationship. So if you have any questions, please let me or Kala know. But thank you very much for this opportunity.
Is there any, thank you. Is there any in-person questions? Go ahead.
So, good evening. I'm asking some of these questions as Rep. Moroka because this came across my office. So this can go to Kala. You know, when I do stuff in public, I don't like the recognition. So, and Kala can assure that I came there several times, offered my big trucks, my rigs, also came there during tsunamis. So, you know, that's the kind of stuff that when you say community, the community there to help you guys. And I don't think anybody in the community is against what happened. But the biggest question I got is when you guys got that letter, and maybe Don Chang can help answer this as well. When you guys got this letter back in June, why did we wait to 3 days before the deadline before any action was taken? That's number one. Number two, when it comes to taxpayer monies, this is a big one, is, you know, we talk about taxpayer monies. Sorry, I got to address the chair. We talk about taxpayer monies, but a lot of people in my community fish. A lot of people, when they fish on their boats, they pay dock fees, they pay the triangle parking. That's taxpayers. They're taxpayers. Their money is paying for the waters that's being wasted. There's a lot of time where we go, and I hope in one day, because this might work for DHHL, we see people watering the cement, never grow yet. So maybe we can eliminate that when we're using terms like saving taxpayers' monies. As far as farming, you know, we talk about farming up at, are you guys already farming up there on the land? And if not, why? Because we don't need the houses or the homes to be farming. So we're talking about all these plans that's coming up and we want to do. The question is, why isn't it already being done to show effort of good faith? Now, what else? The other thing is in 6 months, we know, and it's not your fault, Kalana, it's not anybody here, it's not anybody from POW's fault, but we know delays in the building of Mauka. What happens in 6 months if Mauka not ready?
Hello again. To answer the first question, why do we wait? We wasn't waiting, we kept cleaning. But it's just, we didn't have the proper equipment at the time. Yes, DLNR came every Wednesday to lend their skid steers to help us. I was grateful for that, you know, for Pua, you know, and you know, like that's all I can say is like, go ahead.
How's it? Aloha, Chair. James Bakele. So, okay. Try. So 6 months ago, we were still working and trying to get electricity and all of this stuff brought in by, HECO and all this was running on a lot of temporary electricity and stuff. There's a lot of infrastructure work that we never talked to anybody about that, we was quietly doing. We had maybe at some point, we decided that the best thing to do for like the sewer water and stuff like that was to tie into the city sewer line. That added a couple years, added about $2 million to the project. But in the long run, right, we don't have to worry about septic and pumping and stuff like that, going forward. So it's stuff like that, adding in, like I said, we don't control certain things. Like we don't control when HECO can drop on telephone pole. And so, we wasn't, it's not that anybody was really waiting, waiting around for anything to be done. We was waiting for some of the infrastructure come in, some of the shipments of housing and stuff like that to come in as well, waiting for us to complete some of the things. We had some housing up there, but without electricity, I mean, we could bring everybody in and, run all the generators and stuff like that, but we was hoping to have things more further along than they was. If push was to come to shove and Dale and I said, you guys got to go, of course, everybody would have went and we would have went to the generators and the 6 months transition. So, apologize for taking so long. However, some of this stuff just not in our control. We wasn't waiting around. Everybody's up there. We working. I promise we've been working for 8 years. What was the next question? I'm sorry. I forgot them all.
What's the water? Yeah.
Oh, taxpayer money. Back when we started a lot of this, one of the stuff I was asking, we originally actually started to got our nonprofit because we was actually trying to get DLNR to lease us the current property. And we said, run, let us meter the thing and whatever. Now I understand that, everybody is not, everybody they pay and whatever. And yes, you're right. Absolutely. The guys at POW, they use the water. Sometimes they do stuff they're not supposed to do. Very difficult to, manage everybody. And I'm not here for make excuses for, everybody doing all of that stuff. However, the solution that we're doing now, what we're hoping to do is that when they leave, nobody come back, which is very different from, a lot of these things where they come in, they sweep everybody. 2 weeks later, everybody back, right? And our idea was always that if you give somebody a place to be, then they won't come back, right? The reason it is because they got nowhere else to be. So we're trying to give people someplace else to be. So while, you're absolutely right, taxpayer money, water, absolutely right. Not here to defend, but, hoping that when we took enough time so that when the solution comes through, solution is power. What was the next question? I'm sorry. Farming, yeah. So we do have a test plot. We've had ag lines, built in over there. We've tried a couple of times to start growing stuff. What happened is we run the ag lines down and then construction come in and we cut the ag line and then the things die. Some of the stuff that was growing up on the top was working really well. We found out that papayas grow really good in some places and then they get really top heavy. And when you soak the ground and the wind come, they blow them all over. So, we're trying to see, some things work better than others. We're planning on moving ahead with some stuff like cracky hydroponics and stuff like that. If you guys don't hear that before, KRATKY, check that out. The thing is really super cool. And we also been applying for, different grants and stuff. We're supposed to, was approved, we're in the same grant that Carla was on that got cut. We was on that too. Was supposed to be for 5 microgrid solar systems and 3 containerized climate controlled farms that we was hoping that we could get the schools to come in and, experience all this cool new technology. That grant got pulled. However, we are growing stuff up there. When we finish, getting the houses in and stuff like that, I understand we don't need houses to do farming, but we ended up cutting the ag lines and stuff like that we was doing. And so we was trying, some stuff died. We'll try again. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. And then had one more. That was it? Oh, I thought I had one more. Okay.
I
Sorry.
get
Second question. Okay, for doing with the water at the harbor, I can stop and make sure they use the water accordingly from here on out. The people from our village, but outsiders, I have no control over. I have no ability to tell them because then it ends up in a conflict, and then but our village, yes, I can set a rule to help alleviate the cost of the bill, to use it properly the way it's supposed to be used. If you're not using it, shut it off and then use it when you need to rinse off, That's what I can give.
I'm going to take a chair privilege and let you know that today I was there. I walked the whole property premise, and I was witnessing someone that came from that area, coming out, went to the water, where, the water coming out. She literally had the water continuously running while she was taking a bath. Like, wet yourself, shut the water, just letting you know.
Okay, yeah,
happened.
I know who you're talking about. She's kind of mentally ill. If she's not on her meds every day, she's off the.
This was a young female.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I'm not gonna say her name, but you know what I mean. Like her mental
She was
illness.
wearing a blue skirt.
Yes, her mental illness is like we're bringing people to help, because mental illness along the streets is a big thing, So we're trying to help her any way possible. No, but when I do see that, I do say something, But thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have two people online, so let's have Jermaine Myers first. Go ahead, Jermaine.
Mahalo, Chair. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Mahalo, Chair. First of all, thank you, Don and Kala, for sharing what is going to happen at the boat harbor regarding the next 6 months. I appreciated the updated report, and I appreciate you, Kala, for sharing that you wanted to be part of the cleanup. And so I appreciate that. My questions are for James Pakele, because he is the president of PAL, and he is the person that is on the 990s, or the IRS tax returns that have been filed by PAL ever since its conception. So my question to you is 19 and 20, you guys receive enough money to purchase the land in 2020 for $1.2 million free. Meaning you guys got the land in 2020. In all the way up until the beginning in January 1st of last year, you guys actually had $8.1 million cash in the bank. And then the beginning of this year, you got $10 million in the bank. So my question to you is, how many kauhales, because it's not a multi-housing complex, it's kauhale, which is what I was understand from the original conception, or have you changed the conception? But how many units have you completed as of today? And then how many units have you purchased that is on property ready to be built? And how many do you have coming online to coming in shipment in order to be here and start building? Because I hear what you're saying about the electricity and the water, but you guys don't have electricity and water at the boat harbor. So by just having an infrastructure, you're out of the weather elements. The community members are able to go up there and live in a dwelling out in a kauhale outside of the weather elements, rain, which is what we're going through right now. Even though it's the holidays, it's actually rainy season. So they would be in these dwellings. So that's my questions. Number one, how many dwellings have you already purchased? Because I didn't find them on the 990s, any kind of purchase with regards to your expenses of dwellings in a large amount of sum. And so how many dwellings did you build so far? How many dwellings do you have that's on the ground that you got to still build? And then how many dwellings do you have coming in shipment? And when will they arrive? And will they arrive before the 6 months to get everybody in dwellings? Mahalo.
Thank you. Our first phase was 7 duplexes, so that's 14 living units that's occupied right now with one of the Wai'anaes. Our second phase that just got the electricity is 8 duplexes, so 16 living units. We're estimating hopefully 40-ish people will be able to move into that. We purchased some stuff from Plug-in Home, and that was 7 duplexes, so that's 14 living units. We purchased 20 Continents pop-up units, so those pop up in about 20, 30 minutes. So I think we did 19 living units and one what they call retail unit. And then right now, sitting on trailers at the property, we have 24 more that came in that we're currently offloading.
So when you say 24 more, because I'm getting confused, I'm trying to figure out how
Jermaine,
many people can be in
Jermaine,
dwellings. Oh,
Jermaine,
yes, Chair.
sorry to interrupt you, but can I let others ask and then we can come back? Hanaho, please.
Okay, because his answers were confusing. It wasn't answering my question clearly. So that's all I was trying to ask him for clarification. Because if there's 250 people at the boat harbor, I'm trying to understand, is there going to be 250 dwellings by the end of this April? I mean, by April.
There's not 250 people there yelling. I can only tell you what the dwelling units are. Some gonna be for single people, some gonna be for couples. The Continents units we can put together and create bigger units for families and stuff like that. So I can tell you what living units is gonna be. What the auto occupancy is gonna work out, I don't know. But
Sure.
what we will do is maybe somewhere halfway through, we're gonna do a reassessment and see where we are and see what we need. And if we need to purchase more, we'll probably purchase more.
Okay, thank you for
Chair,
that.
I'll take it offline. Mahalo.
Thank you, Jermaine. Now we have Dana. Dana, go ahead.
Sorry, Chair. My question is for Don Chang in terms of number one, just clarification on whether or not water is a public trust and what that means. And number two is, why do you feel that turning over the land at the boat harbor should go to the DOE and not go into community consultation so that we can get the best kind of vision of what Wai'anae could use that INA for, how it could best impact both Native Hawaiians and the larger community of Wai'anae.
Okay. Thank you for the question. I'm going to start off with the second question. You asked about why is it going to DOE? There are some very important ancholine ponds. The land is under the Department of, our Division of Aquatic Resources. So we, in consultation with the Department of Education, have determined that that is an appropriate use and stewards because they have now the Makai, they have the ocean, plus they have the ancholine ponds, and it's adjacent to Wai'anae High School. And what's more important for us in DLNR is having physical presence there so that it doesn't get filled by, perhaps people who don't belong there. So one, we're looking at Wai'anae High School, helping them. We think that is a public purpose to support public education and the future. These are potentially, they may be able to get jobs. They get marine science degrees, they get exposure. That for us, that was an appropriate request by the Department of Education. And we think that's an appropriate use of state public lands because they will work on taking care of those ponds.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate that. Senator DeCourt, your turn.
Sorry, what about the water as a public trust?
It is a public trust.
And can you just explain what that means?
That means that it is held, so no one, are you talking about ocean water, fresh water? What kind of water are you talking about?
Vai, in terms of, again, the Pu'ohonua there, and there's a lot of discussion about utilizing Vai by the community.
So you're talking about potable water, the water that's coming out of the faucets, the washdowns. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about Vai in general, because the water that comes from our streams or seeps through the mountains and ends up in those particular places where it's captured and then distributed to the public.
Yeah, unfortunately, the water that's coming out of those faucets are coming from Board of Water Supply. And those are coming, I think, as Eric might have said, portions of that water's being distributed from Kapolei into Wai'anae, and then others are coming from wells that BWS has drilled.
Yeah, she said it was Waipahu well.
Oh, Waipahu.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead, Senator DeCourt.
Well, thank you, Pekele, Kala, and POW residents for being with us tonight. My question is for the chair. As you know, board, I have been updating the community with the move out since April when the letter was issued. So I've been giving real-time updates. Now, I have been involved hands-on at the table, weighing in with the cleanup all the way up until November 18th. Where there was a meeting without any elected officials there. All departments were appointed. So my question to Chair Chang is, sorry, let me just back up, watching my time here, is when we had originally created the cleanup plan, it was going to take from December 1st to December 28th to clean up the entire parcels. And it wasn't going to cost taxpayers anything. From what I understood, DLNR didn't have any money. I'm happy to hear that they did find money and they are able to pay for the hauling and the debris fee. So a lot has changed since I have been involved. But I guess my question to Chair Chang is this standard practice for DLNR to not allow elected officials to weigh in on such a really large project that affects the entire Wai'anae coast? Because since November 18th, I really haven't had any kind of responses. But so again, just coming back to my one and I had shared this, it puts the state in a pretty big liability, pretty big risk. So that's my question for the chair. If you wouldn't mind answering, Chair Chang, thank you.
Thank you for the question. We don't have a standard operating procedure on how we work with communities. We work with communities based upon where they are. So whether you're at Wai'anae, we've been working with POW, whether you're in Wai'anae, and we have the hui that we work with them, whether you're a community-based subsistence fishing, we work with where communities are at. The preference with DLNR is to work with communities. We didn't invite any elected officials to that meeting. That meeting was decided on a Monday. I think it was Monday afternoon. I called PUA, told PUA, please call POW. There's rumors going around that we're going to evict them on Thanksgiving. Where's that coming from? I want to make sure we're in the same alignment with POW. So we didn't call any elected officials. It was just DLNR and POW, because those to me are the people that they're the ones that we've had the relationship on the cleanup. But you were the first person I called the next day. You were the first person. I didn't even call the governor. I called you. I told you what we did. So it wasn't intended to offend you. It wasn't intended to dismiss you. It was intended to respect the group that we had worked with. And so you know, in Hawaii, it's not so much who you invite, right? It's who you don't invite that gets really upset. So if I invited Senator DeCourt and I didn't invite Rep. Muraoka, or didn't invite Senator Favela, or didn't call a governor, I would get my okole chewed up. But you were the first person I called. You were the first elected official I called. And and you shared with me how you felt. But again, it was not intended to offend you. But I don't have a standing operating procedure. We work with where the communities are, and we try to do what's in the best interest of the community. So I'm sorry if you felt offended by our actions.
Thank you. You can do them in your time. Don, can you stay a little bit? So during his time for Rep. Muraoka, if you can answer his question, we got to move forward because we've been on
Chair,
with you guys a long time.
I have a question, please, or may I?
Quickly, please.
So first and foremost, mahalo, James, Mr. Pekele, for being here this evening. and sticking it out all these years. I'm very sorry for the loss of Twinkles. Carl, I'm nice to finally meet you. Thank you for being here this evening. It's been a long time, James, since we've come to the neighborhood board. Don, that property belongs to the Department of Aquatics and DLNR. It came back to DLNR through the executive order under Governor Lingo in 2009. We have alkaline ponds there, as you stated. We have 2 documented Iwi Kupuna in that Aina. We have rock walls, ancient rock walls that have been documented in an EIS that the city and county performed in the early 2000s. That's why it came back to the state. The last time anybody from DLNR has come to one of these board meetings, 10 years, 15 years. So I'm gonna mahalo you. You have been coming to our community for a very, very long time. As a consultant, I wanna mahalo the governor, which I'll stop there, for appointing you to DLNR. I think it was a great appointment. Thank you for having the courage to do what we're doing and working with POW at this moment in time. This has been a long time coming. In 2015, when Governor Ige walked with Twinkles through that site, we heard crickets. When Mike McCartney came out to this neighborhood board and gave us crickets again, thank you for coming this evening and addressing all the namu namu out there in the community. I appreciate it. So now I'm going to ask you, during the 2006 emergency proclamation, many promises were made to our community. Many of those emergency and transitional shelters, which you have no concern over, have been cut down to 1/3 in our community. We're not going to talk about that tonight, but I'm hoping we're not getting false promises. And we will see you here in another 3 months, right, to give us an update so everybody can hear from the horse's mouth, from DLNR, as we move closer to that 6-month time frame. Please.
Your time is up.
Mahalo.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don, if you can stay for community concerns, so Rep can, yeah. So we're moving forward now. We're gonna do community concerns. Just a friendly reminder, limited to 2 minutes. Stick to asking your question, get to the point so that we can make sure we get everybody's concerns addressed tonight. That's the goal. Rep, go up there.
Aloha, Chair. I'm also Salcedo. Question from last month's agenda. And I had a question, and actually for Andrea Tupola, if and Andrea stated regarding the Rise property of Nohulio Road, but the governor's emergency proclamation was done incorrectly. And to address it for an appeals, for her to come up with a memo in addressing June Yang's discrepancies found on John Mizuno. And Andrew Tupola said it was going to give it a memo in regards to that, whatever language is going to be put in, and present it to the neighborhood board. Has it reached the neighborhood board in your hands, Chair? That memo.
No, it has not. And I was made aware that she will be on tonight when it's her turn. So just know she will be on.
Yes, I'm
Not
just
sure if in person or online, but she will be. Yeah.
okay. I got 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Because in 2024, with the Nohulio residents, Nohulio, Jade, Kalawa, and Makaha Valley, we had a petition regarding group living, against group living, an objection of group living, because it violates City Bill 64. You cannot be within 1,000 feet from another group living facility. So how in the world, how we got to address that? How can you build something and allow something like this to happen in our area where it violates a city council's bill? So that's what I'm addressing. So I'm holding our city officials accountable and represent the people that they got voted into. Thank you.
Go ahead, come to the mic.
Hello, my kako, everyone. Good to see you from the west side, 96792 in the house. So I was at the committee meeting for homelessness, housing, and parks. I got denied my first constitutional amendment rights, freedom of speech, and to address any issues and concerns with my city council member who lied to the public, paid off Naomi, did not help what she said she's going to do with her 3R program to help the people from Hakimo Road to here. So my concerns to the neighborhood board, because I'll be going to city council tomorrow to let Tommy Waters and the whole chair know you cannot lie to the people on the streets. You might have promised X, Y, and Z, and my heart goes out to everyone on Puhu Wainua, everyone on the Wai'anae board. You need to support them however you can and whatever is possible that's pointed with them, that works with James Pakele and everyone else there. I'm not going to speak for them because they already have their presentation. But we have to address these issues. Rep Murica knows, Samantha DeCourt knows. They offered help, but some people don't want our help. Sabrina Grace offered help. Lena Spain Suzuki had to meet with me, Patty Taruya, Kurt Favela. It did not go well, just to make it simple. They denied our help. They didn't want Sabrina Grace's help. They didn't want the military, want Patty Taruya or Samantha DeCourt's team to help out. They didn't want Chris's help for X, Y, and Z reasons because, it's personal and it's emotional. However, I don't want this council member to pretend I'm going to become the mayor in 2028, stop blasting stuff and all kind of things. So I'm very concerned for the future of 96792 because I want to see Twinkle's vision succeed through James and their Ohana, and they ain't cheap. The numbers are what they are, but they need more support through the GoFundMe and X, Y, and Z, labor, materials, and same thing. But it's also isn't not only Pu'uno'ainia, it's all of Honolulu. We have a major issue, and we keep on getting more homelessness through Kalihi, one-stop flights. I hear all the complaints. My time's up, but please do something about this, because we'll see you at City Council tomorrow.
Thank you. Rep. You sure? Come up to the mic.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Peter. I have a question. It is, what is going on with that rise? And how is everybody all connected to this thing? Everybody seems to be getting something out of it, but we getting poorer and we taking the risk and nobody listening to us, the community. So what's going on? It seems imperialistic. Aloha.
Come, state your name.
Hello, everybody. My name's Stone. I didn't really have a concern. I wanted to talk about POW, Puhonua Wai'anae. I just wanted to honor Auntie Twinkles and her honor. I think this is a big movement. Yeah, and they're not going to be there anymore. And they're a part of our history. So I definitely want to honor her. Honor her spirit and her heart, honor her movement to build up the confidence of our community and helping to find a solution to aid our community members who suffered from extreme poverty. Mahalo you folks for taking care of our opaihos. That was totally backfilled. I remember before you guys went in there, it was backfilled with trash. I was one of the people that helped pull out some trash. And then you guys created a safety around it. Yeah, when you guys would tour people, you guys always made it a point to stop there and tell them mo'olelo of the space. So I always thought that was very honorable. Mahalo Auntie Twinkles and POW for just taking care of Kupuna, Keikira, Makua, Ohana. Mahalo for making history.
Thank you. We have Johnny May online. Johnny May, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. There was a jetty meeting at Kamehameha School Learning Center in September, and it was regarding Pokai, the jetty meeting. And this board, number 24, did not make the community aware of this meeting. Secondly, this board did not make aware that on October 15 at Nanakuli Public Library, that the charter committee had community information sessions. They had a total of 9, one of which was at Nanakuli Public Library in October. We did, however, have at number 24, the charter committee came November 4th to do a presentation. However, the deadline to respond was November 7th. So this board did not allow the community to weigh in any possibility of inputting any information about the charter. Kahului Neighborhood Board participated. And then moving on to POW, What is wrong of being independent? They want to do things on their own. What is the problem? Too much of this community depend on government, and what's happening? The SNAP is being cut. So what is wrong of being independent? Thank you, Don, for everything, and James and Kala. Thank you for being independent. There's nothing wrong with that, and it was surprising to be audited. It was surprising that we were not there. What is wrong of being independent? We should support them and not investigate them. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny May. So I'm going to take a chair privilege and respond. In regards to the September, I was never informed, nor did I even know about that meeting. So I'm not sure how I was supposed to get that information, but I was not privileged to that info. On October 15th, that meeting that was with the Charter Commission, I last minute found out from a community member who told me in a text, hey, there's a Charter Committee meeting at Nanakuli Library that had nothing to do with the Nanakuli board. That was on their own. They came out to present, and I was present at that meeting. And I requested for them to come to the Wai'anae board because the information they were sharing was critical for us to know. And yes, I agree that the time frame in which they came and that it was due that week was beyond my control. I tried to make sure that I got those people out here to give my community the information they needed. And they also gave fat packets, very informational. And they brought a lot of those copies because I requested that so that the information could be given out for people who didn't show up to the meeting. So I did my best, and I apologize if I didn't meet your needs. Okay, any more community concern? Come to the microphone, say your name, please.
Aloha, Ocean Ka'oili. First of all, Madam Chair, I have two concerns. So I'll defer to you whether you're going to give me 2 minutes for both of them or 2 minutes for one. I'll step away and I'll come back for the other 2 minutes, but I'll try and keep it short. The first one deals with the question I asked HPD about the blocking of the egress on the sidewalks, for the community, the pedestrians and whatnot. I do appreciate the answer from HPD. However, the answer of the community members calling them to report the violations, so-called violations, now they're putting it on us versus on HPD, who has responsibilities of their own to enforce. You know where I'm going. Where I'm going with this. So maybe instead of putting it back on the community members, I'm just looking towards the board to see what can the board do as a representative of the community to help, with that concern. And that's that. My second issue is I appreciate HPD, HFD, Ocean Safety coming to these meetings. Where's EMS? And when was the last time they were here? That's my question. Maybe you can tell me that now. That's besides the point. The reason I ask is because I'm in that same arena. When it comes to public response, I know that there's an EMS unit in Wai'anae when they're staffed. There's one that comes out of Nanakuli when they're staffed. But even when they're staffed, they have one incident. The nearest drop-off worth anything is St. Francis West. So it opens up that void. So my question is, maybe you can ask EMS. The fire department, we have what we call standards of cover to ensure that the communities are safe. For example, the Wai'anae Fire Station, some of their companies, they're heading to town for training or they go out of service for mechanical repair or whatnot. Because based on our standards of cover, they're going to send another company to cover the area. Does EMS do the same thing? That's the question. Maybe you, from the board, you can ask them. Because once EMS takes the patient, it leaves that void. Now, Ladder 26 went up to respond to one cardiac issue. The units are gone. Half an hour, 45 minutes for an EMS unit come out to respond them to give them additional care. I'm sorry. The person going to die.
Yeah.
And to me, that's unacceptable. I'm not speaking for myself, but the community members. We get plenty of kupuna outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are
So-
great questions that Jeff will get on EMS because they
Sure.
work in conjunction, yeah, with HFD, HPD. So yeah, we're gonna find out like, because he said as long as he's been here, like NCO, EMS was never part of the package deal in presenting.
Chair, Chair,
Maybe
can-
It's about,
Chair, can I answer part of his question, and invite him to our transportation meeting? It's fourth Wednesday of the month, and I can probably try to put a committee together to try to address his questions.
yeah,
Thank you.
so under announcements, you have the chance to let the community know about that. So I just wanna take chair privilege because I live in close proximity to Lehoko Elementary where the kids, so I'm always told, call the cops, yeah, when they're blocking. The problem with that is when you call the cops, my entire street, everybody gets tickets.
Correct.
So, and then your neighbor knows it was you that called the cops because you have to wait outside till HPD comes and then you get retaliation.
No, and that's why I appreciate the answer. But if we put it through the board to kind of address it that way, then
Yes.
it takes away that identification where this person called.
Okay.
And yeah, the neighbors will get, everybody will get tickets. But you know what? The tickets
Save on kids, like,
more compared to somebody pushing one stroller on the street. And we all know how fast those cars move on Leho.
agree. Okay, thank you.
Mahalo.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Come to the mic.
Aloha, everybody. Never see you guys a long time. About 2 times already. I never come. But Michael William Capolino Eli. I mean, I was wondering, Makaha, they still stay behind you guys' house, still bulldozering, yeah? So what they pow. What they was doing behind there for fire mitigation? Okay, I just was checking. All the way to the school. Okay, I just checking because there's dusting out everybody, right? And then I get one more. If you guys like help, put on a ula hair out like that, because now we get fire mitigation with Eric them and Carla Farm. So they made on road, on access road to the ranch. So we make it more easy for us guys go, because they're on reservoir now. So that can help out save the forest. When the fire come, the fire truck, the helicopter, going to peel out the fire. So we need help for making a green belt. So we gotta weed whack and plant trees, plant whatever natives we get or whatever we can plant. And we let the water go to the reservoir too. That's what they like. But I mean, but we need help. I mean, I always bring them to the community for help, but I guess they don't like help. But every Saturday, just give me a call, 392-1363. That's my number. Call me Saturday at 9 o'clock, maybe 9 to whenever. So we get access. Weed whackers, whatever you guys like do, you can go up there and aloha, Aina, aloha.
Thank you. Come to the mic.
Aloha, blessings. I just want to put it on the record. Don Chang, I'm diplomat of Koha Waipa Aina. I just want to thank you so much for putting the humanity of our people in the front line. Although, however, I appreciate and know Samantha and everyone that's working together and working in that. I just want to come and malama you. Thank you so much.
Aloha. Ova o kapua kili I koa kamai. No ka aina ho o pula pula ka awawa au. Okay. So, mahalo, I just have a couple questions and maybe statement. You know, we're grateful to have you folks serving us. And we're grateful when you inform us of future events, activities, meetings, when anybody shares it. Because if you know it, share it. Because sometimes they don't know these things. And we cannot hold them accountable for something that they weren't aware of because nobody told them either. I mean, these are private citizens like us that are volunteering their time for us. So we need to help all of us. And how do we do that? We make announcements. Like next week, I think Tuesday, December 7th, OHA is coming. So if you're interested in Hawaiian activities and activities that OHA is doing, go to the Maili Learning Center. And I think that starts at 6:30 to 8:30. So, you know, we can help each other and to try to lift each other up. One of the other things I wanted to mention was our committees. You know, in here, and I've seen before, previous boards, where we have dates or we have 4th, 5th, 3rd, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at certain places. But then in this minutes, I'm seeing that it says next meeting. So does that mean that the others that don't say next meeting is not meeting on Christmas Eve for transportation? So maybe if this year is like normally it's the 4th Thursday and it would be Christmas Eve, but it is Christmas Eve, then maybe we just announce that Bombay too. Okay, mahalo.
Aloha, Kalei. You know, the concern we are been fighting for is public safety. And then more about the boat harbor. November 5th, look what was in the advertising newspaper. Look how much development is going to come in our district. We got to pay attention. There's a lot of development coming in. I'm sharing this because this is your community. A lot of development is coming in to be built in our district. We ain't got the road infrastructure. And you guys, we're all complaining about coming into Nanakuli, going out of Wai'anae. There's accidents, how dead stop we are. That's only the beginning. When they start putting more infrastructure on the whole 96792. So there is going to be the DPP hearing for tomorrow. So I highly suggest you folks go on the website, the city and county website, and look what type of testimony you're going to do, because that is going to negative impact. Where is our well-being and safety in our community? All we've been doing is allowing to be the holding tank. The holding tank for everybody. The one with tickets and everything. It's okay to help. But before we help outsiders, we got to help our own first. They come first. We got to keep opening the door for outsiders and leave ours alone. We got to fight that way. Because we're not making the money. We're not going for the GI. I just want the well-being and safety of our community. My kupunas, my generation to come. Because if I got to continue being the voice and fight, and they're going to have to deal with it. And it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. I talked to our senators, our representative, but we've been silent in the city and county. Hell no. You don't want to represent us. Face us straight and tell us you don't want to represent us. That hurts this Hawaiian more. More money I get. But I try to be porno with the money. Because you know why? We, Kanakas, can be ugly with the money. And that's not my style. But don't manipulate and false promises to our community.
Thank you,
You're either
Auntie
going to
Kale.
represent us or don't. If you're not, get the hell out of office.
Thank you. Come to the mic. State your name.
Hello, I'm Chris Hollis from Hawaii Bicycling League. We're going to be, I think you guys normally see Ben Williams come up here and announce the Makaha Time Trial bike race. We're going to be taking it over from him. He's going to be helping us, but he's going to be off island most of the year next year. But it is just a 9-mile bike race that starts out towards the end of Farrington Highway, just outside the state park, and then goes 4.5 miles towards Makaha, and then turns around and goes back. It's less than 100 people early in the morning. It will be Sunday, February 1st. Yeah, just a little announcement.
Thank you for that announcement. Appreciated.
Just 30 seconds, Chair. It's me. Pikachu Shelby Billionaire. I just want to give 30 seconds. We're doing a free bed giveaway for everyone who needs free beds. Wai'anae High School, Saturday, December 6th. It's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I'll be 21 magically, same age as Don Chang. So if anyone needs beds, take the free bed. Take it all, but it's first come, first serve. So if you've been at Eva Beach, Kurt Favelas helped hosting it. Sabrina Grace will be there too. You got to come early. And you have to have like a truck. You just can't put it on your little Honda. So please come out to get a free bed in case you need it. If you're doing development or something else, I highly encourage all of you guys to come out. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that public announcement. Appreciate it.
I have an announcement, and this is for my Kanaka Maoles. December 5, we have a class at Nanakuli Neighborhood Board at 2 to 8. Nothing to do with the Nanakuli Neighborhood Board, but
in the library.
The library. There you go. That will be our second one. So if you want to have all you guys documentation and everything else, everyone's welcome to come there to follow up and look up your royal patents and learn more into that and go forward from there. We're going to have 3 classes. The first one is next one coming up December 5 at 2 to 8. I have a meeting prior before that if you guys want to come.
Awesome. Thank you for that announcement. Appreciate it. Come, Eddie, come to the mic.
Aloha, as we know, we're in the season of, we just passed Thanksgiving, but every day we have something to be thankful for. But now it's Christmas and to remember the reason for the season, and it's Jesus. But more so, our Christmas parade. That is on December 13th. That's a big highlight of our community. And it's so wonderful just to be a part of it, just to be supporting it. So I'm just reminding everyone, please, our Christmas parade on the 13th, and that's at 10 a.m. The following week, Ark of Safety has our drama, Child of the Promise. And that is on Saturday and Sunday. We welcome you folks to come out and join us. It's a beautiful rendition straight from the Bible. So come and join us. Mahalo.
Thank you for that announcement. We have Jermaine Myers online. Jermaine, go ahead.
Mahalo, Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this community concerns and announcements. Just wanted to clarify so I can share which one.
Community concerns, and some people have announcements during their community concern. Go ahead.
Okay, mahalo. So first and foremost, I wanted to bring up that when we're asking POW questions, we're not investigating them. We're asking for accountability and transparency. Accountability to the $12 million of donors that donated $12 million. And we're asking for transparency to the public because POW is a nonprofit. That means they're exempt from paying taxes. So they are accountable to the community. They are supposed to be transparent to the community. So that's what it's all about. This is nothing to do with investigation. And then also regarding public announcements, I have to correct my Tita Kapua's announcement. OHA is actually going to be at Miley Community Learning Center on Wednesday, December 17th. So from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. I don't know of one next week, Tuesday. So I just wanted to clarify. It's Wednesday, December 17th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. regarding the military lease lands. And then I just wanted to share with the public that we at the board don't get special privilege as far as announcements. We get announcements about meetings through our representatives, through our senators, through our governor, through the NCO. But if you sign up like me to different, I sign up with city announcements, mayor's announcements, governor's announcements. OHA, DG Chow, they all have newsletters. They all have they all have platforms that you can sign up so you can always be informed about upcoming meetings that they have. And so, or events. So I just wanted to let everybody know that you don't have to just wait till the neighborhood board, which is once a month. You can go ahead and go and see, because the charter commission was actually created early this year when the previous neighborhood board was on the table. So I just wanted to be clear about that there's multiple avenues of empowerment for everyone to be able, so we don't need to be attacking our chair. Mahalo.
Thank you, Jermaine. Now we have Laura. Laura, go ahead.
Aloha. This is twofold. I just wanted to announce the next spay and neuter clinic. It's free. Spay and neuter your pet, your dog or cat. They'll also do microchip and vaccination. It's going to be December 13th at the Nanakuli Library. We will be there all day. I know that there's a lot going on that day, but we will be there. Just bring proof of status, Quest, SNAP, or Section 8. If you have any questions, you can go to Aloha Animal Outreach on Facebook or Instagram. The second part is we are trying to do our best to fight overpopulation, which means going into the homeless camps and bringing dogs to be spayed and neutered at the event. Some of the dogs need a clean place to heal before we can take them back home. If anybody is able to just give a warm, safe, quiet place for up to 10 days, again, reach out to Aloha Animal Outreach. It would be December 13th till about the 23rd. And that's all I've got.
Thank you, Laura. Appreciate you. So no one else online and in person. Okay, we're moving on. So now we're going to elected officials and State Department reports. Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative, Donna Puna.
Aloha, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I just have a few responses. First, there was a question about zoning clarification. If a property owner zoned P1 preservation wanted to subdivide their property, does the same zoning carry over into the subdivided space? Can it be changed? DPP says that a subdivision action does not change the underlying zoning. A zone change which is approved by ordinance of the City Council is required to change the underlying zoning. However, properties in the P1 Restricted Preservation District correspond to the State Land Use Conservation District. Before the zoning could be changed at the county level, each state land use district boundary amendment would have to be approved. The next question was diverting traffic. Would HPD be able to divert traffic through Haleakala and out through Nanakuli Avenue when traffic becomes congested due to an accident? HPD reports that although drivers may choose to use these side streets independently, HPD does not recommend directing traffic through this area. These are residential neighborhoods characterized by narrow streets and a school zone with high pedestrian foot traffic. During peak periods, the corridor already experiences a heavy volume, and too closely spaced traffic lights create congestion. Adding diverted traffic would not alleviate delays and would likely worsen safety concerns and overall congestion in the neighborhood. And then lastly, a vehicle gate at park. Can there be a second vehicle gate installed at the upper part of Kaupuni Neighborhood Park? Department of Parks and Rec says, thank you for your suggestion regarding the installation of a second vehicle gate at the upper part of Kaupuni Neighborhood Park. At this time, we are unable to move forward with this improvement due to limited funding, but we will keep your request in mind as we plan for future projects. That's what I have, but I'm here for any questions. Thank you.
Okay, you got questions? Go ahead.
Aloha Dan, kapua kili ikoa kamai no ka aina ho'opula pula ka awaawa Wai'anae mayau. I had asked this question several months ago regarding DPP and the impact of DHHL doing our own planning and permitting, issuing our own permits now. What is the impact in these 2 to 3 months since I originally asked the question? And when other projects come towards DPP that is not DHHL related or could be for energy, what is the timeline? So how much efficiency has been gained or how much time has been saved by DHHL creating their own permitting department?
Thank you for reminding us of that question. So actually, and I've met with DHHL, the chair there, and they have not pursued doing their own permits. They would like to work with us and continue to use the DPP's process, and that's how it's been since I think you've asked that question, and since they did announce that they were going to process their own permits. So there really hasn't been a change other than that I've met periodically with DHHL, and we are trying to come up with ways to better serve DHHL, constituents. But
Okay, thank you.
basically, yeah, bottom line, they are not processing their own building permits.
I just should have said that I had multiple questions because I had 40 more seconds than what I have right now. Anyway, the other question is, so for clarification, DHHL is not doing their own permitting. They're utilizing county permitting process and allowing the county to do the approvals opposed to DHHL. That was one, or the second question. And then the third one is regarding HPD assisted traffic directions. You know, when we have power outage, people will stop every time they see the light blinking. When we have power outage, we definitely need HPD to facilitate the steady stream of traffic, especially when it is during traffic hours, but not limited to it. So is there some way that, I know this is probably an HPD question, that perhaps you could help us and get it to them as well? But since you did announce about traffic directing by HPD, I just thought I'd bring that up. And now I'll take your answer. Mahalo.
Thank you. Yeah, so for HPD, I can definitely take that question back and then bring you a response next month. But yes, DHHL has changed direction. So DPP is processing building permits, although the state in general, including DHHL, can elect to, exempt themselves from county permits, but they usually do come through DPP in order for our inspectors to go out, inspect, and issue certificates of occupancy, which are very important for insurance and other reasons. Thank you.
Mahalo.
Anyone else in person? Okay, online we have Jermaine. Jermaine, go ahead.
Mahalo, Chair. Don, for DHHL, or I'm sorry, first of all, does the LUO include rules regarding geothermal plants on Oahu? And number two is, if DHHL was to start pursuing doing a geothermal plant, drilling, etc., on its lands in Lulule Valley, does the city DPP have a process that they would need to get involved, or is that another agency? Mahalo.
So for geothermal plants, I would have to look, the LUO, the land use ordinance has recently been updated. So I'd have to see if that is covered. I can't tell you off the top of my head. And then whether DHHL would need to come in for permits, potentially yes, depending on, the ownership of the property If they're, digging, they would probably need some trenching types of permits. So probably, but I can get more specific answers on your question for next month.
Mahalo.
Thank you. So now we have Johnny May. Johnny May, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I'm gonna answer a few questions. First of all, I'm still having a problem with NCO in signing up. It's still giving me the signal registration failed.
Johnny May, your connection is really bad. It sounds like you're a robot. Try log off and come back.
Okay, let me turn on the AI. Okay, the NCO, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
We cannot hear you at all. It's really, really funky.
I didn't do anything different, but let me just continue.
Can you put it
So-
in the chat? Because we cannot hear you at all. If you can put it in the chat.
Jeff, what's going on?
Hi, Johnny May. It seems like your connection is a little off on your end. We can hear you, but it's very difficult to understand you based off your connection. So if you wouldn't mind putting your concern in the chat, and I can make sure it's logged down properly in the minutes.
But I want an answer.
I understand, but it is very, very difficult to understand you. So if you could please put your stuff in the chat, that would be great. And I'll make sure I monitor the chat so I can give you the response when you do answer it or ask it. Thank you.
Okay, so any more questions for Don Apuna? Nope. Okay, we're moving on to Council Member Andrea Tupola.
Aloha mai kako. Thank you guys so much for your time tonight. I gave some of the reports. This is similar to what we gave out at the Nanakuli Neighborhood Board. So it's the 6 cohort reports from Restore, Reconnect, Revive, if you guys want to look through that. And then Jeffrey has a bag, and he's just going to pass it to each of you guys. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for your service this year and wish you Merry Christmas. It's some banana bread, homemade, for you guys. Can we just give a round of applause for these guys? They're volunteers. And I wanted to make sure that at the end of 2025, we acknowledge all their time that they've given as volunteers. And that's not even just in this meeting. Oh, sorry, not for you, Chris. Nah. Might be extra, might be extra. Chris looked like he needs some banana bread in his mouth right now. So the report is really just about that. I do have a full city council meeting tomorrow. Various bills are going to be heard. One of them is about dog parks, working with Department of Parks and Recreation to see if we can't have a little bit of that when we have new parks come out, that 10% can be dedicated for a dog park. It's really hard after the fact when we already have a park and then people want dog park space and there is none. And really we can't lose any field space. So in the future, as parks roll out, I'm suggesting that we cut out a portion of it for our dog owners. And other than that, I have a taxi cab bill that's going up for final reading tomorrow as well. So if you want to come and testify, you can, 10 o'clock at the city council. So I'll take any questions that you have now.
In person, anybody got questions for City Councilwoman Tupola?
Chair, I do, if you're going to take
Oh,
community
yes,
first.
go ahead.
Yes, council member. So I was going to ask you, could we have an update on the cohort you did at Uluvehi? I mean, not Uluvehi, but at Uliava.
Yeah. So that's cohort 7. So
Is that in here?
No, since we just finished it, it usually takes me a couple weeks. I work with Calahoe West. They pull all the numbers and then I can more accurately look at how many people they helped, how many were housed, how many got jobs. So there's like a few weeks that I take to crunch all the data from each cohort. And that one ended at the beginning of November. So I haven't gotten all the data yet from Calahoe West.
Yeah, because at my last Park and Rec meeting, we had some community members updating some facts or fiction about what transpired. So I wanted to ask your office if you could provide us with a
Sure.
report on so we can hear it all.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
of course. I mean, we did have different providers come out this cohort. Ohana Health was out there, Project Vision was out there. We focused a lot more on mental health support. So the data that we collected is a little different because there are a lot of people that needed more assistance, rehab assistance, medical assistance. But I did put a little bit of that in cohort 6, which you guys have in front of us, because some of those individuals in cohort 6 carried over into cohort 7. So they were still needing the same follow-up services. I did have a meeting with Department of Human Services and asked them if we could have a solid doctor working with us out there like every week, because I have different medical agencies that come in and out, but it's not enough for us to really get solid like follow-ups, prescriptions, whatever they need. So I think really that's the hardest part about this upcoming one is we're going to need a lot more mental health support than what we've had in the past.
I think my biggest concern is out of the 69 units, that would be family units, single units, whatever it is, how many of those units got housed? That's where I'm really interested in how many got housed before the cleanup on the 6th, 7th, and 8th of November.
Yeah,
Thank
so we're going to carry out the data once Kealoha West gives it. There's a lot of agencies that are out there helping, and I have to ask each of them how their follow-up went with each of their clients to kind of analyze who all was helped and what was the conclusion so that we can write up the report.
Okay, anyone in person, come to the microphone.
Hello, Andrea. I just need an update from last month's request for your letterhead memo regarding Nohulio Road, the group living facility under Rise, that they're owners of the property, and was found to be discrepancy by June Yang as far as the governor's emergency proclamation and regarding appeals to the DPP for structuring that 25 bedrooms to oppose it in its entirety, or for any matter for any type of group living facilities, because it violates Bill 64. Any group living facility cannot be within 1,000 feet from each other. Page 21 to 23, I believe, of Bill 64. It's a clear violation of the city bill. That's the question. It was not given to, I brought it up community concerns to our chair, and the chair have not received it yet. So what is the update? Thank you.
I'm not sure if Don Apuna is still on, but I think what Uncle is bringing up is one, the DPP website had an error on there. It was noting that Rise had the emergency proclamation when they didn't, and that was clarified by Jung Yang, but we all haven't received like an actual formal written, hey, is this true? Is this not true? Because Jung told me to my face that they did not have it, that what John Mizuno did was erroneous and that they had not applied or received the emergency proclamation. So I can ask Dawn one more time. I'm not sure if she's on. I can ask her if she has an answer to that because it's their website. I'm not sure why it was reflecting that erroneously. Secondly, is that I did reach out to Carla and I asked her to update the community because from what I understand, they pursued another spot already, meaning like they already are kind of moving on because they had funds that they needed to use. But I don't know what the current state is with that property. So I think we'll leave that up to Carla to respond. But I did ask her to write a letter to the neighborhood board to update you guys because I think prior to today, she was doing that monthly, was updating you guys on their facilities.
Dawn did log off, but I'll push that question over to her first thing tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Then we can circle back to Uncle if you get on second question. Come to the mic.
Aloha, Kalei Salcedo. My question is, when we bring issues up to at the city hall, you know, it was about Rise. It was not targeting any individual.
Auntie Kalei, can you ask the question, please?
I want to know why that story went twist and make like we was targeting an individual. We was targeting and asking question about Rise. So I want the story out there. And I want to know why you're making like HPD is complaining about us when we the one who's been voicing for the safety and well-being of the community. This is not politics. I don't deal with politics very well, but I will deal and fight for my community that's being overdeveloped, gentrification. That's my problem I have, Councilwoman. I don't like somebody putting different words in my mouth. I don't appreciate that. And I want to know, are you going to represent me as a constituent continue when I speak on a committee behalf? If not, I want to know here, now, and then, what is your grounds on public safety?
So I think there are two issues. One is whether or not I support the community on opposing Rise being on Noholio Road. And I already gave a letter to this neighborhood board that I do. So I oppose the location. I think when we had the community meeting, we all agreed that not only does it not have the lighting, it doesn't have the actual, structure that it needs there, doesn't have a bus line. A lot of the neighbors oppose it, including the immediate neighbor to the property. So I already told Carla what my stance was. I was clear with her. I don't oppose her organization, but I oppose that location at Noholio Road. So that's one. Secondly, Carla is up for a renomination. She's serving as a volunteer on the Department of Parks and Recreation Board, and I do not oppose her nomination. So she is coming up for the final vote tomorrow, and I do think that the work she does on the Parks Commission is voluntary, and I think she does good work. And again, anyone, even the community members here, can serve on the Parks Commission. It's just like a neighborhood board where you volunteer time, you give your input, you have these kind of meetings, you get feedback from the public. So that is the part that I support, which is Carla continuing on to support the Parks and Recreation Commission as a volunteer for this next term. And again, the terms are only a couple years. So Carla will term out and then another person will come in. But there are many people besides her that give insight. That insight from the Parks and Recreation Commission goes to the department. Then if the department agrees with what they say, they bring it to us. So as a Parks chair, if the commission suggests something that we don't like, then we can dialogue with them. But the Parks Commission is there to advise us on things that we might not see or that the public is bringing up about how to make our parks better.
Come to the mic. I get two online, so after the in-person, I'll go to online.
Aloha kapua again. So I just wanted to, make a statement that we got to agree to disagree, because we're not always going to agree on the same thing. So like when I didn't like or when I don't like what my reps or council people are doing, I'm going to let them know. But they got to know where I stood in the first place, and if I'm not telling them, I cannot have expectations of them. But then even when I do tell them, and if they have a different opinion, because that's their right, because they have so much more information than we do. And so they know what it's actually going to cost the whole community, opposed to Kapua thinking about me and my little community. So I think we just need to recognize that. And I wanted to commend our councilwoman for taking the bold steps that she oftentimes takes, which we oftentimes don't think is for our benefit. And it's good that we let her know this so that she knows where she needs to try and work better for us. So it's good to have that open communication, but at the same time, we need to acknowledge that we're not always going to agree to disagree. And I just thank her and Chris and Darius, for representing us well. I think, and Samantha, color my baby, for representing us well, because they know that Wai'anae will not be silent. I mean, I've heard her say it. Her people at the council are looking at DPP. So when people are trying to do something on the sly, we've got people that are already looking it up. So mahalo to good active community activism, and to our legislators and in letting them know. Mahalo nui.
I get two online.
Okay.
I have, who did I mark? Johnny May, go ahead, online.
Chair, can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Much better.
Okay, thank you. And just one, maybe two questions. Real simple. You know the $700,000 drug settlement. It's going to, my understanding, summer fund fees. Can little bit of that be utilized for the senior program at Pilila Park? So the seniors have a program at Pilila Park from January to December, and there's a member fee about $22. So if part of that drug money can use to pay the seniors fee. And lastly, Kapuni Park, hopefully the apparatus can be built before the ending of your term. Thank you for coming and thank you for representing District 1.
Thank you so much. The clarification on the settlement is that it was 70,000, and I don't think it was a drug settlement, but you should ask board member Joe Jordan. She's the one that was working with the prosecutor's office and sits on that committee. Secondly, Kaupuni Park, yes, we finally met with DHHL. That was like months ago, and DPR is moving forward with Department of Design and Construction to do the play apparatus at Kaupuni. But on top of that, the organization or the homestead asked me to work on a cattle gate and many other things in preparation for them to be a Firewise community. So we're going to wrap that all together. The Firewise upgrades as well as the play apparatus.
Okay, we have Jermaine. Jermaine, go ahead.
Mahalo, Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Aloha. Thank you. Aloha, Councilmember Tupola. Thank you for your report and thank you for your responses. I have a couple questions. May we have a copy of the response that you give to Joe Jordan regarding her questions about what she had asked you earlier? And then also regarding the R3 or the 3R, I can't remember now. Is it R3 or 3R?
R3.
R3. Okay, the R3 reports that you gave to our neighborhood board in November and also to now to Wai'anae Neighborhood Board. I'm still trying to assimilate the information, but when you do get responses, if any of the neighborhood board members in Wai'anae ask you questions and you provide them response, if you can provide us that response as well so that we can be totally informed along 96792. And then in regards to Noho Leo, may we have a copy of what you sent Wai'anae Neighborhood Board as far as what you said about RISE and that they didn't have the infrastructure, et cetera, so they're not able to build on that property? Because I want to make sure that, you know, in Nanakuli Maili district, when there is a request for a group living home, there cannot be a group living home within certain amount of distance from it. So I just want to make sure that as a housing zoning committee chair for Nanakuli Maili, that I can understand how this thing unfolded and just to understand it for future references. And then the last thing was regarding, you were saying about the Parks Commission, it's a volunteer position. Is it island-wide, all of Oahu? Because we have 33 neighborhood boards. Is there any time a kahea out to the Parks Committee members on the 33 neighborhood boards about that there's a vacancy available now in the commission? And especially because you're the Parks Chair. And then also, is
Jermaine,
there?
your time running out.
Oh,
You at
okay.
00.
Okay, no problem. That's it. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'll send you the R3 cohort 7 report, the letter that I wrote about RISE. And then in regards to the Parks Commission, Kehaupu'u is the one that gives out the call. And actually there's always spots available. Like in all of our commissions, there's always spots. So I do think that they actually send it out to the neighborhood boards. But again, you'd have to ask Kehau. I don't know how they distribute the like, hey, there's this commission spot open on the parks. Because we also have a planning commission. We also have a police commission. We have a fire commission. We have we have Ocean Safety Commission. So I will see on Kehau's side who is sending out the notification for any openings.
Go ahead. Aloha, blessings again. I just want to put something on your plate. RISE just got awarded or granted 2.5 million.
Yeah.
Can you look into it and report to the community and this board? Thank you.
I don't know if Carla's logged on, but she used to log on every month, but I'll send this over to her because really she should be answering. I'm not in charge of RISE, but I do think that in regards to the location, we got involved because there was DPP concerns. But other than that, she really should report for her organization.
Until you get, come.
Mahalo, Lukana Kili Ikopua from Wai'anae Valley Homestead. Number one, I want to recognize and acknowledge Joe Jordan. I'm talking specifically about Kaupuni Park. She has been our champion for many years. She is the one that's helped to secure funding. And this is part of the funding that we're also banking on, but not only banking on, and thank you, Councilwoman, for helping to push this through. You know, we were stripped of our children's playground for many years and has never been replaced. And that has been a sore thorn for Joe as well as for us. So having this apparatus, which we've done a survey for, and which our community is in agreement of, we're really looking forward to something to make that happen. We finally had our park and some of the beautiful revisions, but there's so much more that's to be done. And so I'm asking at this time, City Council, our state, this is Department of Hawaiian Homelands that is leased to the city and county, that you put a budget this coming year. I mean, we're still learning. Wai'anae Valley Homestead and 501c3, put another budget in there for us because we know planning and construction eats up the cost. It eats up the cost. We were robbed of that the last time we tried to go through the process. So we want to be better prepared to have these fundings available and that hopefully we can see this come to fruition. We've been up there, we're almost 50 years celebrating Wai'anae Valley. We need the help of our legislators to make this happen. Our people are visual and they continue to, and they thrive on that visualness, but we need something. Even we talked about it in our general meeting that this is a child apparatus. Good ideas came out. What about the kupuna? There's some things that the kupuna can be having there while our children are also exercising that hopefully can be implemented in that budget, in that reconstruction. You know, so we've had some good ideas. We've had an awesome President, Jan Makepa, who has her hands in a lot of things. Sewer conversion, please, Councilwoman, make that happen as well. State, city, and county collaborate. We have kupuna that are sitting not only in Wai'anae Valley, in all our homes, it's statewide mandate. Statewide mandate. Wai'anae Valley is a pilot that has been able to collaborate with many agencies. Mahalo.
Thank you, Auntie.
Yeah, Auntie's not wrong. It's been long. So thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. And I do also think that every year we've actually been putting in money for Kaupuni and just waiting for parks to prioritize it. So it finally is prioritized, but it doesn't mean it's over. We are going to put it in for the budget again next year if there are things that are left to do. But we did actually have to go to a DHHL meeting to kind of convey all of this to them. Even though the city has the ownership of the park, we still have to run everything through DHHL. Lastly, I think what she brought up about, oh shoot, what was the last thing? Oh, the cesspool. Yeah, we got language on that from Carmen and Joseph Simpliciano. They actually sent it over. So we will send you guys the draft bill. It's for DHHL about the conversion. So we're working on that and then we'll be proposing it for next year.
Okay, thank you. Now we're going to go on to, thank you for your time. We're going to go on to Senator Samantha DeCourt.
Aloha Chair, Board Member Samantha DeCourt, State Senate. Just wanted to let the board know that we did receive our 2026 legislative calendar. So session begins January 21st and ends May 8th. Really quickly, I do want to acknowledge that most of you have already met and have been working with Julina Feliciano. So I just want to recognize her. There she is over there. She is going to be signed on to our session and she's already been working super hard. So I just want to thank her. And then also with regards to Act 310, this was the $50 million that was appropriated by the legislature to help to maybe fill the gaps of some nonprofit funds that were not there. And I did want to mention that Ella Pyle Social Services did receive $1 million of that. They have been a super big help to our Wai'anae community, and they've been able to really not only feed us, but in a healthy way. So I just want to mahalo Ella Pyle for that. Just letting you know that tomorrow, Ella Pyle, they do have their kupuna pantry. It is at the Wai'anae Boat Harbor. Tomorrow will be the last day that it will be at the Boat Harbor, then it will be back at Wai'anae Intermediate. The department, the prosecuting attorney's office and Department of Law Enforcement, so the city and state has collaborated on the Safe and Sound program for our district, which includes more law enforcement to provide a quicker response and then heftier fines for repeat offenders. So we're going to be sticking very close to the prosecuting attorney's office and Department of Law Enforcement on how that program continues to unfold and how valuable it is to our community and have they actually been able to reduce the crime here on this side. Let's see. And Oh, Wai'anae Elementary. I'm sorry, not Wai'anae Intermediate, Wai'anae Elementary. Okay, so with that, I'll go ahead and open for questions. I know that we're stressed on time. So thank you.
Anyone got questions in person? Nope. Okay, we got one online. Johnny May, go ahead. Oh,
Thank you,
no.
Chair. Samantha, can I have your, I would like to subscribe to your newsletter. What would the link be for the newsletter? Your newsletter.
Yeah, we're actually going to be launching our newsletter in January. So thank you guys so much for your patience in that. But go ahead and put your email through the chat. My office is online virtually. They'll grab that and then include you in that newsletter. And once that's launched, Chair, I'll go ahead and provide that information to the Wai'anae Neighborhood Board as well.
Thank you. Perfect.
Nani online, go ahead.
Aloha, Senator Samantha. How you doing? Hope all is well.
Very good.
Hoping you can help in this particular situation. A couple months ago, you guys know that I've been building Pilina with our coastline people as much as possible and helping them out in any way that I can. I've taken a couple people to the DMV here in Wai'anae to obtain their IDs. Unfortunately, they had to go through this long process of going out to the State Department, Health Department to obtain a birth certificate in order to get an ID. Both of which, well, one of which was present with me at that time. Anyway, long story short, it was very difficult for them to obtain their ID because of the policies and procedures that come about. Requiring them to provide an ID in order to get their birth certificate. So there's some kind of discrepancy within the both the organizations, and I'm trying to find a way to solve it. And so I don't know where to go as far as if it's a legislature thing to start a resolution, write up a resolution, or anyway, long story short, I'm asking for video cameras, just like DMV has at their satellite locations within State Department, Health Department, so that it's a lot easier for our people, especially our houseless, who does not have any access to internet, does not have any access to phone, to be able
Nani,
to
can you
obtain.
let Senator answer the question, please? Your 2 minutes is up.
Oh, wow, that was fast. Okay. You know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, you were breaking up a lot. So you know what I'll do, Nani? I'll give you a call tomorrow morning, and then you can maybe just talk me through what that request is, because it was super choppy. I don't know if that was more for city or for state, but either way, I'll call you tomorrow, and then we'll be able to facilitate
sounds good.
the direction.
I appreciate that. Mahalo.
Sure.
Susan.
Okay, nobody in person on board? Anybody? Nope. Thank you, Senator. Appreciate your time. Okay, next up is State Representative Chris Moroka.
Hello, good evening, board. Thanks for having me here. Again, remarkable show out tonight. Always excites me that the community is getting involved. Super, super exciting, yeah. Just to touch on what Senator said, we did launch the Safe and Sound West Side, which is super exciting. There is a weak link, however, and it's a judicial system. We got commitments from Chief Vanek. We got commitments from Prosecutor Alm that we're gonna start holding people accountable stiffer, quicker, and more often. I noticed this young lady over here asked me about game rooms. This is one of the things that this program is gonna look into. So that's the Safe and Sound West Side. I did meet with Laura Thielen today and her team about Middle Park. As a lot of you guys know, Middle Park bathroom, the roof is all complete. It's really nice. I volunteered myself. We're building the gates. They should be done this week, and hopefully next week we'll do an installation. Once the gates are up, they're going to put the toilets and finish and paint. So we'll have another restroom for our public to use during the week. Did a drive-through with Transportation Chair Rep. Keela, as well as DOT Ed Sniffen through Kole Kole. I'm very, very well experienced with Kole Kole. So I wanted to tell them myself from my own mouth in person to Ed Sniffen, as well as the military, the concerns that we have with Rock Falls, this, that, and other. And the other thing is, more importantly, for Wai'anae Makaha and some of us in Lualualei, the inability to get there should we have the big rains. Everybody knows if you live this side, get that big dip. That dip fills up, we trapped. They did agree to look into opening the gate closer to our side, so it is accessible. So that's a good thing. Sorry, my phone battery is dying. Met with Department, the State DTS Deputy Director John Nouchi. One thing I've been pushing a lot, speed humps. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I don't care. We're pushing for them because they save lives. They slow cars down. I am very happy to say that they are looking at Lehoku, excuse me. Lehoku Elementary, that's the first place. We're also looking in front Pililao Park as a second place. And then we're looking at we're looking at the drag strip from Jade Street to Makaha Beach. So that's a big thing. That's a state road. So we got Ed Sniffin on that. Really good, really helping. The community about the hunting was a really good thing. Met with Roy Miyahara from the state about a lot of our housing situation out here. We helped organize something at the schools. We all know a few short weeks ago that we had 2 kids die surfing. Uncle Mel Poole came to my office. We got together, and then we got with Tisa Haugi, and Uncle Mel did a whole weeks long event at the high school last week, just talking to the kids about the safeties on what to look for. Stuff, I mean, I'm 48, I live in Makaha my whole life, even stuff I never thought of. Yeah, reef wet, stay back. And simple stuff like that, so the kids can identify when the rainwater come in. Met with Auntie Kim at my office. We talked about possible solutions moving forward. You know, Kupuna, helping whatever way we can. Met with DHHL about Lehoku. We actually with DHHL, they're willing to help. We also met with a nonprofit, HR Boxing, together helping the 2 of them get together and give Lehoku not only additional parking, but HR Boxing off the street running area training for their kids. So DHHL is really big on that. And I did want to let you know that DHHL is also one of the things we work with is Wai'anae Valley. We get one plan we're going to bring to Auntie Jan them very shortly and see if you guys accept it, because we have been working with DHHL and they've been pretty right on so far. The gentleman that was in here earlier, I saw him leave. I'm going to chase him down. Hopefully he's still here. I don't know much about his egress issue, but I'd like to learn of that so we can maybe tie that into the whole Lehoku thing with Ed Sniffin and the city. Friday, super excited for Friday. I get to go debate with Lehoku second graders. They're probably going to be more smart than all the people I work with at the building. Tomorrow, we want to celebrate that it's our first exposure fair. It's like a job fair, but it's an interactive fair we're putting on at the Arca Safety Community Center for all the schools. We got some outside vendors coming in, just kind of helping giving our students out here a better look in outside of construction, mechanics, welding, you know, letting them know there's a whole new world outside there. And maybe we can spark some interest in other, you know, areas. Yeah. I think, tomorrow night, December 3rd at Miley Learning Center, there is a meeting with Kamehameha Schools, just a public information meeting. They want to know, you know, about the admissions thing. Everybody knows the lawsuit that's coming down, that's going to be here shortly. So if everybody can make it tomorrow at 6 o'clock at Miley Learning Center, you know, everybody's welcome. I see Tanya Brown here tonight. And I'm going to say, Tanya, thank you. I've been a thorn in Tanya's side since I won this election, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Number one, like Auntie said, all right, in 2 short weeks, we got our parade, which Rep. Moroka's office is a part of first time I ever do something like that. But more importantly, Tanya, thank you. I want to sincerely say thank you, because I've been a thorn in her side. And Tanya, I'm going to say it before you. Next year's parade is at night. So right on. That's so excited for me. Why not going to get our night parade? I think that's it on my list of what we've done the last month. I'll open up for any questions.
I have one online. Johnny May, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Chris, do you email your email for newsletter so that I can subscribe to your newsletter?
We are kicking off our newsletter, I believe in January, but we do have a website and you have Kelly's number. You can go ahead and email Kelly. She can get you the website information. Unfortunately, I don't know the website information. I don't even know my office number.
Okay,
My
thank
brain
you.
isn't that big. I cannot retain all of that.
Okay, and I want to wish you the best at the debate with Lehoku students.
I'm nervous about that one.
Okay, in person, come to the mic. We only get 10 minutes left.
Okay, I'll make it fast. I see Don Chang is out of here, but Representative, with your permission, Pua, you still represent DLNR right now. Is there? So can you speak up in her behalf as well too? At least, send a representative from DLNR on our monthly meetings to address any type of state issues that we have over here. Can that be done on the DLNR side to commit a representative from DLNR? Because DLNR comprise of Dubar, Dufa, and Do Care that don't care. That's what we feel about it. Okay. So so that way we know that we bring in accountability to what our concerns are because of safety. Okay. That's why we got Duke's Law now because of safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you do that? Take that back to her. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rep. Just want to also emphasize that Wai'anae community is building towards Firewise. We've seen it with Ka'ala, they're doing fire breaks. So that's something that we need to be aware of. We can do that at our own homes. Rep, thank you for the safety issues. When you talk about speed bumps, we'd like that also to happen in Wai'anae Valley. We got a lot of speeders. We got a lot of people burning rubber back there, and we got kupunas. So it's a really grave issue for us. It has been. We've been denied way back when, but now things are happening, whether they be raised sidewalks, whatever, if we could consider that also in your list of things. The other thing that you had mentioned, shucks, I know that 2 minutes is getting me down, but nevertheless, thank you, Rep. Thank you, everybody, for making it happen. This community depends on you and me. So we need to get involved and make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
So just to touch up on that, Wai'anae Valley, nine speed humps, four in front Pililao Park, 4 in front Pililao Park. We're going to we're doing speed tables. When I met with them last week, I learned there's 3. There's a speed hump, a speed table, and a raised sidewalk. So we're doing speed tables. 9 proposed right now for Wai'anae Valley, 4 in front Pililao Park, but we got to stop as you come around the bend because from there to the Y is privately owned road. So there's none going there, unfortunately, but we are putting some on the top side and as well as around the main hump. We're looking at that. We also looked at Lehoku, putting some by Lehoku. Unfortunately, I just learned that Makaha Valley Road, where we wanted to put 6 of them, the state owns Farrington. When you make the right turn off of Farrington onto 7-Eleven going to Lahaina, that's where the city owns. Past Lahaina is private owned again. So that shut all of our speed humps down because now that as well as Keeley Drive is privately owned. And I can tell you, I live on Makaha Valley Road and 7 o'clock, the drag strip opens. Sometimes even earlier when you get the ignorant ones. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a very tough, but we are looking into that. Speed tables. So the speed tables are 10 foot across at the widest point with a much steeper entry and exit. The curved speed humps, we just run them over, we jump them, nobody even stop. And the raised sidewalks are going by Pililao, by Lehoku, they're adding 1 more and a couple more.
Okay, thank you. We don't have no one online. Thank you, Rep. Appreciate you. Okay, now we have Diamond Badejos for Governor Green's rep and also for DHL representing. Go ahead, Diamond.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, Board, and community members. Diamond Badajos, Information and Community Relations Officer at the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. Here for Governor Josh Green. I have no follow-ups from this board regarding any state questions, so I can take any new ones tonight and relay them over.
Okay, just note we have 6 minutes and we still got plenty business.
Aloha, Diamond, Kapua, Wai'anae Valley.
Hi.
Babe, I just want to make it public that DHHL should not be building any homes that houses non-beneficiaries, similar to Halemakana or Nanakuli, because this can happen anytime now. And whenever we use federal funds like LIHTC, that can be used for all, that puts our DHHL money and these housing units at risk and limits, takes it away from the beneficiaries for which it's intended. So I just wanted to make that public. Mahalo, babe.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we don't have no one online and no more further in. You got to make it quick because we got 5 minutes.
Aloha, Kalei Salcedo. You know, DHHL is using a lot of Hawaiian homelands and billing and giving so much to the Hawaiians and the rest to outsiders. But when they use that lands and they build gentrification homes, building homes, they open that market, the market to outside entities.
Auntie Kale, can you please ask the question?
The question is, are you folks going to continue eliminating the Hawaiian homelands and only facing an outside revenue people that coming in and has the money because our people don't? That is the question. When are you going to pay attention to our people, Hawaiian people, Wai'anae? Is that an outside entity that has the money, the moolah?
Noted and understood. Thank you. I guess if we want to switch gears to DHHL, I did want to mention that we have our Hawaiian Homes Commission meeting Monday, December 15th. It will be at the KS Maili Learning Center. That'll start at 6:30. And piggybacking off what some of our others have shared about the cesspool conversion pilot project, more information from the DHHL planning side of things can be found on our DHHL website under planning.
Got 3 minutes before.
Oh, babe, you know, I put on the DHHL on first. This is to the governor, is that I know that he has good people on his advisory committee for military lands, but military lands, that use of all of those lands should cease in 2029. So there should be no negotiations because the Aina has already been trashed and we need to take care of it. So that's just a message I ask you to take to the governor. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your time tonight for staying on. Mahalo. Okay, so board business number 9 and number 10, we're gonna table that till next month. We're moving on to announcements. Next regular board meeting, Tuesday, January 6th at 6:30 p.m. here at the public library. I will make sure that the new librarian, we have a new librarian now because Cheryl retired, that she leaves on the AC. She has to actually override it and she probably forgot. But I bought fans for my house. Anyway, let's keep moving on. And then Kapolei City Light Parade and Block Party Saturday, December 6th. That's this Saturday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Kapolei Hale. Wai'anae Christmas Parade Saturday, December 13th, beginning at Wai'anae Boat Harbor at 10 a.m. We will be participating. There are several of us on the board. I'll be, either myself or my husband will be driving our Silverado all dressed up. And we will be walking and riding. And so if anyone wants to come and participate, let me know because we need people for pass out candies because we don't have that many volunteers. So if anybody like help us pass out candies, call me or talk to me after this meeting. The next one is Christmas on the Ave and Operation Blue Light at Nanakuli Avenue, Saturday, December 13th in the evening, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then we also collecting tonight, if you have Toys for Tots, the NCO is collecting that. And yeah, that's it. That's a wrap. Adjourn.